Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clockwork Cantina. I need to turn Daniel's camera on stream. That's my bad. He's there. Hello, welcome to episode 160. I'm one of your hosts, Josh902, and this is the other host of this show.
I'm DT3. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for the little bit of a late start. That's my fault. I overslept a little bit, but we're here now. We didn't have a show last week, but we're having a show this week. And it is also like our 4-year anniversary also this week, or this past week. So happy 4-year anniversary to the podcast. Woo!
On Friday it was our the actual day,
Yeah.
19th. So that's cool. It has officially been 4 years. Now, this episode is mostly gonna be Guardians, I imagine.
Yeah, it is.
We're not really I don't think we're gonna get too into the 4 years, but it's been 4 years. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But also Guardians is it's gonna be an interesting to talk about because it's a heck of a movie, I think. So we'll get to that
Yeah.
later for sure.
That'll be in our second half of the show, obviously, because we want to do over all the stuff first half of the show that you
Yeah,
guys would stick
we
around
got
for.
a we got a couple weeks worth of news to get to first for sure.
Yeah. Um but yeah, before we get to that part of the show, let's hop into what we've been up to the past 2 weeks. DT, what have you been up to the past couple weeks, buddy?
I've been watching a lot of TV. I've been watching a lot of movies and playing some games, man. So let's get to that. So I watched let's see, Creed 3. Uh what other movies did I watch? I watched Oink. I watched Evil Dead Arise, Dope from 2015, Missing, Young Guns 1 and 2. I watched Searching. Um, I watched Batman versus Two Face, the like 60s animated Batman stuff, which is like the last thing that uh what's his name? Adam West. I almost said Burt Ward, but Adam West. It's the last thing Adam West did as for Batman, and I almost want to say the last thing he did like ever.
Yeah.
Um, but it was really cool. I enjoyed it. If you like 60s Batman, you'll have fun with that with those animated movies for sure. They're a lot of fun. I watched Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I
Man, it's been a
watched
minute since I saw that.
yeah movie. I watched The Office Space. I watched Booksmart, and then I finally watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania since it was on Disney Plus finally as well. So oh, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So I'm watching a lot of movies. Some more recent, some not so much, but for the most part, they've been pretty good. The stuff that I've watched. TV show wise, watched another episode of Your Boy Kong Ming. I kind of haven't really been keeping up with that. I gotta finish it. It's only one season, but I've just been watching so much other TV. Like finally finished Ash vs Evil Dead. Saw the entire third season. Finally got through with it. Overall, pretty good show. I um I could totally have seen them do another season after that, but I guess the numbers weren't doing well since like season 2, so they just decided to not move forward with it, which is it is what it is. I know Bruce Campbell's kind of done with the character now too, so I know he don't want to mess around with that anymore. But it was a good run, I would say, for that. What else? What else? What else? I watched all of Good Omens season 1, so fully caught up on that, for ready for season 2. Oh, another movie I forgot to mention was Air. I watched Air. That was pretty good too. Damn, I was so much mind.
You watched a lot, to
Anyway,
be fair.
yeah. I watched The Bear season 1 also. So
Hell yeah.
we got the trailer for season 2 to watch today in the notes, which is gonna be interesting. I'm really curious. I've caught up on that. Watched the first 3 episodes of Carnival Row season 1, so that's the next show I started. And then I we're caught up on Ted Lasso, so the current season we're behind a couple episodes, but fully caught up now and ready for more. Video game wise, been playing a lot of Fortnite because of the Star Wars event. Been playing a little bit of Valorant. I participated in the most recent server, whatever the hell they called it for Diablo 4, the beta again.
The stress test
The
dealio,
stress
the
test,
server
yeah,
slam. That's what it
Server
was. Server
Slam, that's what it
slam.
was. I participated in the Server Slam. I killed the world boss, so give me my shit when the game comes out. Uh, and of course, I got the level 20 wolf whenever I played the game the first time.
Yeah.
I played Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure on stream. Played it, beat it, done. Uh, Played a little bit of Starship Troopers Extermination. That game is really fun. Especially if you're playing with friends, you can get into the whole kind of like role playing kind of dealio. And it makes me want to watch that Roughneck series that I never watched with the crappy fucking like Beast Wars animation.
Yeah.
Because I never seen it, so I'm like, I want to watch it now.
I remember seeing
Uh,
parts of it as a kid and thinking that shit is hype, but that's a kid thinking. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah, I never watched it, so I'm curious to try it out. But yeah, that game's been fun. And speaking of which, we're gonna co-stream that on Friday, so that should be
We
good too.
are.
And then PUBG, I reinstalled PUBG because a friend was like, "Yeah, look what I'm playing," and then like a few of us decided to reinstall it. So there we are again.
Look at what you did, friend. You know who you are.
And then on stream last week, I started Final Fantasy VII Remake, and holy shit, what a game, dude! I'm only 3 chapters in, and I'm fucking loving this game. And I'd never played the Final Fantasy game ever, apart from like maybe a little bit of Final Fantasy X on the PS2 back in the day, but like
Mhm.
and then like the only other game that would count, I guess, is the Final Fantasy 14. Uh, what is it?
The MMO.
The MMO that, but like other than that, I've never played a Final Fantasy game. So this is what I would consider to be my first like full playthrough and full game of a Final Fantasy. And it's been fucking great. I'm only 3 chapters into it, but I'm loving it so far. It's really, really good. So definitely strong recommend to everybody who hasn't played it, and as well as you, Josh. Definitely when you get the chance, play it because I'm enjoying it, man. I am really,
I'm
really
going to.
enjoying it. It's awesome.
I gotta play
Like I
some other
said,
stuff, but I
I'm
want
only
to.
3 chapters in, and it's so good.
I got my copy right there, though. It's right over there.
Um, but yeah, that's been pretty much what I've been up to. Um, Watching a lot of things, man. Going through a lot of TV, which like up until this point in the year, I had really only been watching like movies pretty hardcore, but now I'm like starting to get into the flow of TV shows, and man, it's nice when you just get into the flow and just start knocking stuff off your list. Like some of these shows have been out for years. I'm like, finally, I've seen them. They're done. I
I'm
can, get through
when
it.
you decided to watch The Bear, I was so excited because any of you that watch the show know I love The Bear. So them watching The Bear and them doing exactly what I did, which is they watched it all in one night. By the way, was pretty dope.
I mean, it's like easy to like ingest, dude. It's only like half-hour episodes. There's only 8 of
It's
them.
super easy.
And then like one of those episodes was even shorter. It was like only like 20 minutes or something. But it
Yeah,
was it was an episode.
it
You'll
feels
when you
long
see it,
though.
you'll know it. But yeah,
Cool.
that's been pretty much what I've been up to. How about yourself?
All right. For me, I am all caught up on the old Ted Lasso. Same as DT. Um, I watched The Bear again with them, so I have watched it again, which is odd for me to watch a show like so quickly again, but I did because I love The Bear a lot, and we're gonna get to watch the season 2 trailer today, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Movies, I haven't been watching a lot lately, but I did watch the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I liked it. It was fun. I love all the references and all the Easter eggs they had in there for people, and the music would hit when it needed to hit, and all that cool shit. It's a pretty good movie.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
You're right.
So good,
yeah.
man.
Dice making stuff. I've been making some dice for somebody. I need to finish those up after we're done with the show today, actually. I have to go down there and clean them up one last time. But then those will be done, and I can start making some of my own projects again. I've been working on commissions nonstop, feels like, lately.
Yeah, you've been kind of busy with that stuff, huh?
Yeah.
It's like here's somebody wants to make this dice, and here's this dice, and then, oh shit, here you go, make these and those.
By the way, guys, I take commissions. I'm a dice maker. Feel free to hit me up. Just saying. I gotta buy video games and food.
All the vid games.
In terms of gaming, Starship Troopers, obviously, been playing that a little bit off stream. I haven't streamed anything, so I guess by default is off stream. But we will be streaming that Friday, probably around 3 p.m. Eastern time, which I think is usually DT's start time for us on the East Coast. So we'll be group streaming that. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. I'm sure we'll get up to some shenanigans. I'm sure there's no telling. Whenever we stream things together, things always happen. I get blown up, or
it'll be fun, man. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we get some clippable moments whenever we do co-streams. And then the biggest thing I've been doing lately is playing Dragon Age Inquisition, like, again. Like, I've downloaded, I was like, I want a game I can play off stream. I've played it before, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to stream it again. I've never done the DLCs for it, and I just went. I've turned on some of the trials. Like the enemies are level with me, so they're always either the same level or above me, and stuff like that. It's fun to go through it again. I don't think I've played it since it came out, which was in, when did it come out? I'm gonna look that up really quick. Since 2014. Wow. And I never played any of the DLCs. So
has it been out that long?
It has, man. Initial release date was November 18th, 2014.
Inquisition?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I guess the first one did come out, what, 09? And the second would have been like a couple years after that. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Damn. That means it's about to be 10 years since that game came out almost.
Which means Dragon Age 4 is like way late. Not way late, but no. Like they were doing other things. And
in comparison,
yeah.
That's nuts, dude.
They also did do DLCs and story DLCs that came out. I don't know when they came out. Like the last one that sets up the fourth game, and it does set up the fourth, because this is one of the things I hated at the time. Dragon Age had this habit of doing DLCs, side tangent, DLCs that would set up the next game, and then you'd have to go buy those DLCs, or you felt like you were missing something out on the next game. So they did that for 2. They did that for the first one, really, but it was an expansion pack. This was in the first game as an expansion pack, so it didn't feel as bad. It wasn't just a DLC. And then Inquisition also had a DLC that sets up the fourth game-ish, ties up some loose ends. But yeah, it's been like fucking almost 10 years without a Dragon Age 4, and it's looking like we're not going to get a Dragon Age 4 till like next year, so we'll see. I hope we get some news this year on it. There's a lot of gaming news going to be happening in the next couple of weeks and months, so I'm curious.
Yeah.
To what we'll be seeing there.
Lots of stuff. Hopefully some good stuff within that too,
Yeah. But yeah, I'm playing a mage. I don't usually play like magey magic classes. I'm always like a melee or rogue, in your face fighter type character. But I thought, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna be a mage this time, especially in Inquisition, because there's things out there that makes more sense for your character to kind of be a mage in that game. So it's a good time. It's fun. You know, like it's funny because like after all these years and all the things I know about it, like the mount. I saw this on Twitter like a few weeks ago. They were talking about this. It's like the mount. So there's mounts in the game that you can get and ride, right? And they can either sprint or walk. But on Twitter, the devs are like, yeah, but there's no difference in speed between them. All we did was add some wavy lines and change the camera angle, but they go pretty much the exact same speed just because of the tech that they were using at the time. They couldn't make it go faster. So they did little tips and tricks and shit like that to like try to trick you to make it think it's going faster than it is. I never think about that shit, but it always felt that way. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I've been playing Inquisition off stream and hanging out with the gang every night in Discord and all that fun shenanigans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think that's about it. I've been catching up on some sleep, but it ain't really like, as you can tell, I was late today due to sleep. But that's because I woke up and fell back asleep, and that's not my fault, okay? My body does what it wants to do, and it don't listen to me. It refuses. But yeah, that's what I've been up to the past week.
Yeah.
So if we want to go ahead and hit the gaming news, bud, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we get in, though, I just want to give a salute to Mr. Ray Stevenson, man. R.I.P., dude. Because
I saw that news. Oh man,
dude, that shit caught everybody off guard, man. Like, it's insane because he looked good like a month ago at Celebration, bro. It's just it just goes to show like how like you could be good one moment and then not the next, dude. Life is a bitch, bro. Like,
yeah.
that is
See,
insane.
I was shocked by it because I woke up. I messaged DT, hey, I'm gonna get up and turn the computer on. I just woke up because I always like try to let DT know if something's going on, obviously. Because I always have the laptop by my bed because I watch like TV shows on it while I'm sleeping, and I have Discord up on it. And I woke up and I turned the computer on. I had to go out and I had to take the dog out really quick. She was busting to go out, and my nephew's not here right now, so I had to take her out. And I came in, started up the stream. I was looking in Discord because I always get caught up on Discord because I'm a fucking busy person all the time. And I was looking at a chat and I saw, I think it was Katie had posted it, or Katie or Dora. One of them had posted it in one of the Discord channels. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe. Like, I because I love Ray. Like, I love him in like so many things. Man, I'm still shocked by it, and it sucks.
Dude. Like that, it sucks so bad, dude. Like man, like I said, he looked great. You know, he looked good like about a month ago or however long ago it was from Celebration, and it's just he was so excited, and you know he was like filming another movie, and it just man, it life sucks, dude. But yeah, like apparently he was like he didn't feel well like on Saturday, and then like from Saturday to Sunday, man, Sunday he just I don't know what the hell happened. He just that was it, dude. And then now today on Monday we are finding out that this happened. So it's brutal, man. Brutal shit out there. You know.
Yeah.
Just my reminder to live life to the fullest because you never know when you could be here. I mean, you're here one moment and the next you're not. So
yeah, and he's pretty young, and he was in shape, dude.
58, man. 58. That's
that's it's shitty because there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like it's like, God, you want to change it so bad, but that's just life, man. You never know. You just never know. It's like when Ray Liotta passed away, man. Like you just never know. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, and also like not long ago, Lance Reddick, dude. Like it's just crazy.
Been a rough year again.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, we can move on to the news now. I just wanted to salute that man because he's been a lot of great characters that we've seen over the years, and
sure.
And now Ahsoka's gonna hit different when we see him in it, dude. It's
Yeah.
gonna it's gonna be rough, but much love and all, and respect to his family and loved ones and all that. Because yeah. All right. So we got 2 weeks worth of news to catch up on.
Let's hit it.
So the first thing we have here is that Payday 3 gameplay is gonna premiere this summer, which is probably gonna be next month, if I had to imagine, at the Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
And they put out a little bit of a teaser here. It's very short, but it pretty much is just saying that there's gonna be footage, or they're gonna show us something
Yeah.
next month. So if you want to throw that up really quickly, it'll be over like
Yeah,
pretty
you
much
may.
instantaneously. But
I'm
yeah.
ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, guys, it's a simple job.
Chains. Hit the trailer.
And it's over just like that.
Yep. It's pretty exciting. We played the shit out of some Payday back in the day.
I remember. I remember.
And 2, Payday 1 and 2. Shit, make me want to download 2 and play it again.
I know, huh? I mean, shit. Do I even have it installed? I don't know.
I don't think I do. I think I uninstalled it.
Oh, I still have it installed, so I could play it if people are. I mean, I'm down to play it if people are. But anyway,
Games are too big.
um, get you. So yeah, coming out this summer. Looking forward to seeing what that looks like. The
Yeah.
second game came out how long ago now? Like it's been a while, huh?
Oh, I'm gonna look really quick. Let me look this up. Payday 2, 2013.
Damn, 10 years.
Yeah. Shit, we still played the fuck out of it though. Been a minute.
All right.
What's
Moving on
next,
to the
friend?
next thing, we have an exclusive report coming to us from Insider Gaming. They say that Sony is planning on their next handheld, uh, you know, their next handheld, basically.
Yeah.
So they say that it's in development. They codename it the Q Lite. The next PlayStation handheld is the next piece of Sony hardware that aims to be yet another piece of hardware that requires a PS5. Insider Gaming understands that the Q Lite is not a cloud streaming device, but instead uses remote play with the PS5. A feature the console giant has been pushing these past couple of weeks. As for the physical features, early prototypes show the console will look a lot like the PS5 controller, but with a massive 8-inch LCD touchscreen in the center. The device sports adaptive triggers for haptic feedback and will include what you would come to expect from the handheld: volume buttons, speakers, audio input jack, etc. Insider Gaming understands that QLite is in its QA phase and is scheduled to release before the PS5 Pro and after the detachable the disk drive PS5. Uh, as previously mentioned by industry insider Jeff Grubb, Sony is planning to announce its second phase of the PS5, which is in reference to its future game slate. Uh, Along with the new detachable disk drive PS5, Project Nomad, wireless headphones, Project Voyager, which is a wireless headset, and then the Q Lite, all scheduled to release within a very short period. It's understood that the PS5 Pro is aiming for a holiday 2024 release. So a lot of this is they're planning on doing here with the next like couple years or so. And it makes me wonder if they're gonna talk about any of this stuff
Same.
here at the on Wednesday's event, which we're gonna be watching, by the way, if you guys want to check out.
Yeah.
We're gonna be streaming that, talking about it and all that good stuff.
I'm just sitting
But yeah,
here
it makes me
thinking
wonder
like
about that.
the it's a handheld, but it's for remote play only. But like when people have handhelds, they like to go out and do shit, right? And that's like the whole point. If you have a handheld and it's just doing remote play, wouldn't you be doing that at home? Am I wrong? Like, is it because they're like it's not cloud gaming? Because if it was cloud gaming, you'd use the internet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I
Uh,
guess we'll have to learn more about it because it's like the
It
way it
definitely
sounds is
feels
like
weird. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the way it sounds is like who are they targeting? People who want to play games in their bathtub or something? Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right. Well, I'm taking a
Like
shit. Like, what's going
yeah.
on, man?
I can't stop this boss fight. I'm in the flow, dude. I gotta go take it. I gotta go.
It's giving me
Like
the
I gotta
bubble
go,
guts.
but I
Give me the bubble
gotta
guts. I gotta go to the
but I gotta
bathroom.
take this with me. I gotta
Give
continue.
me
I
my
can't stop.
hand. That's
Like
terrible.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I mean, again, we were just learning about this, and this is like rumored report. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see like what actually it is gonna be and how it's gonna work. But yeah, as of right now, it's just kind of hard to
Yeah, need more
be
details.
like, yeah. But it's interesting that Sony's wanting to get back into the handheld stuff because I mean, I want to say their last handheld was the Vita, right?
Yeah, the PS Vita.
Which I never got one of those. I remember wanting one because I used to have a PSP,
I want
and I was
one
like,
too.
man, I want a Vita, and I just never got one.
My oldest nephew had one. I've got the I played Killzone on it or something for a little bit, and then he took it back. Ooh, jerk. But
what a jerk! I want to play that thing. Come on, yeah. I don't think I've ever. Actually no. I think I may have seen one in person, but it's like one of those things where it's like I have rarely seen one in person.
Yeah.
I remember always wanting one though,
Man.
like especially when it first came out. I remember going to Best Buy and it's like right there, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. Remember going to Best Buy and they'd have handhelds and you could touch them and play them and all that shit.
Yeah, I do.
Dude.
I sure do. Because that's where I distinctively remember seeing one, and I'm like, damn, I want one of these. Because again, I used to have a PSP at the time, and it's like, man, I would love to have a fucking PS Vita. But anyway, yeah, just we'll see. I guess maybe they'll talk about it on Wednesday. Maybe they won't. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about let's switch gears and go from PlayStation to Xbox. Starfield's ESRB rating reveals drugs, in-game purchases, and jetpack sex.
Oh yeah, we fucking let's go.
So, we'll have to wait until next month to get our our next big look at Starfield. But the game's ESRB rating has appeared online and confirms it will include drugs, in-game purchases, and jetpack sex. The ESRB, or Entertainment Software Rating Board, has given Starfield an M for mature 17 plus for blood, strong language, suggestive themes, use of drugs, and violence. Many of these are pretty standard for an M-rated game, but the rating summary is filled with some very interesting details. First off, it confirms Starfield is an open-world role-playing game in which players assume the role of a miner tasked with finding artifacts across the galaxy. The next bit of text describes some more standard features, including Starfield allows for first and third person perspectives, and it will feature character interactions, quests, futuristic guns, lasers, axes, and explosives, and more. Then, the summary gives out some examples of suggestive material in the dialogue players will find in the game, specifically after they share a bed with another character. The game contains some suggestive material. The dialogue after sharing a bed with characters, an example, life is a sexually transmitted disease that it's 100% fatal. I'm all for getting a little wild, but next time let's try it without the jetpacks. Talk about seeing stars. Whew, that was amazing. The summary reads. So there's no full context. That may not be exactly as it sounds, but maybe we'll be having some jetpack sex. Who knows? So we'll have to wait and see. But aside from that, Josh, I think it's cool that we also find out that this game is going to have first and third person, and it's going to be, you
Makes
get like a little
sense.
bit of a synopsis of, it's an open world RPG where you get to find artifacts across the galaxy. You're a miner and whatnot. So that kind of stuff sounds, interesting. I think, right?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
how you feel about this?
I'm not like hype because I temper my hype expectations most of the time now, especially when it comes to like
Like new
especially
releases and stuff.
yeah, new releases and depending on the company and all that. Like, so I'm interested in it. I want to see a lot more of it than I've seen. Like we talk about this every time they do those fucking little round tables, but they never show the game. I'm sure we're gonna see a shitload of the game next month because I think they have an event after. I think the Xbox thing, right? Like, so that they're gonna show off a lot of Starfield. But it kind of has all the things I like. Like I like space stuff. I like all the RPG stuff that's going to be in it. I like all the. It's going to be like Skyrim in space and shipbuilding and all that stuff. Like all that is stuff that appeals to me. And I really, really, it's weird because there's like inside of me, there's a little kid, right, in my heart that's like, I really want to be excited about this. I want to be excited about it so bad. But adult me is like, remember all the failures that happen. Remember the bugs that happen. Remember the rushed things that when they come out, they're broken as shit that happen.
I mean, shit. Even a game we recently enjoyed, like Jedi Survivor, has performance issues. So even games that are good, that like, we are looking forward to have issues. So it's like I feel like no game is. Isn't that kind of fucked up? How there's like really no games nowadays that are like good to go at launch? Like that's
right,
fucked, dude.
Right?
Like why is that a thing, dude?
I don't know. It's it's gotten real bad lately too, like real bad. And it's like it's sad that it's killing like my excitement for things, right? Like I'm dreading game releases for things because it's like I'm not going to be able to enjoy it at launch probably. Like I don't know how to describe it. They're killing my inner child. Like they're killing my inner excitement for things. I don't like if somebody mentioned Dragon Age 4 to me right now, I wouldn't even be excited. Like like I would want to be, but like the inside cynical mean part of you that comes out as you get a little bit older and you get all these life disappointments is like starting to take over a little bit because nobody's kind of really helping beat back on that, you know? Like it's all like rushing things out, which makes no sense. It will definitely make not a lot of sense for Starfield after all of its delays to be fixed up and be, they've delayed it, and Microsoft, I'm sure, is pouring more money into it. Like, it better hit it out of the park, or I'm gonna be pretty disappointed when it comes to game releases. So we'll see though. I guess we'll see. I want to be excited. How about you? How you feeling?
I'm not really excited for, like, honestly, it's hard to be excited for any game these days, like I was just saying, but there are some games that I am looking forward to more than others, and I would say I'm kind of just like, I don't know. It's one of those games that like I want to know more about and I want to see more of, because at the same time, like everything we've seen of this game is always like, here's Todd Howard and a couple other guys sitting around on a table talking about the game. And like we've seen very little about the actual game itself. And I know they're planning on doing its own showcase next month or whatever. So I'm waiting on that. But like the details we've heard here and there make it sound interesting. And then other stuff like we're gonna have 1,000 planets and each one is gonna, it's like I that that sounds cool, but like I don't have the time to go and explore each and every single one of those planets to go check stuff out, Like how different are things gonna be on each planet? Is it gonna be like fairly the same with like slight differences everywhere you go? Because if so, then I don't need that many planets. I'd rather have less planets and have them be more unique from each other as opposed to having here's like all these like kind of like No Man's Sky, right? Where it's like here's all these different planets, but at a certain point they all kind of are the same. Where it's like they're like randomly generated to an extent, and then they're all kind of the same if you really think about it. So I don't know, like stuff like that. That's how I feel about it. But overall for the game, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'm intrigued and like I'm not on the negative side of it, you know? Like I still wanna I just wanna see more from the game itself. I wanna know more details, and I know we're getting that, but we just up until this point, that's just how I feel about it. And, you know, maybe maybe the next thing they show us, I'll get more excited for it. But as of right now, it's kind of one of those things where it's like we've seen too little and heard all these things, but haven't actually seen what they're gonna look like or what it's gonna be, or you know how it is gonna be really. So it's just been more talk than show from them at
Mm,
this point, and I kind of want to see. And I'm just waiting on them to show us, which I know they are. So we're just waiting on that. And yeah, but like I said, I'm not negative on the game. I just want to see more. And sound some of the things sound cool though, but also like I'm not the biggest like Fallout is one of those series that I'm talking about Bethesda now, but so like
yeah.
Fallout is one of those series that I have been wanting to like, but I really haven't been able to get into. Like I've tried a few of the games and I don't know, man. I want to like it, but for whatever reason, I just can't really get as into it as everybody else does. Um so some of the stuff that they've done, I wish I was more into, but I'm not. So we'll see how this one compares to the rest really. Um so yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
speaking of next month for June, Summer Game Fest is going to have more than 40 partners this time around that are going to be taking place in the activities and festivities. There's going to be a live showcase event at the YouTube Theater over on June 8th. Um, they have tickets on sale. You can sign up for event alerts, but the partners, as we see here, they've tweeted out an image. We're gonna have Activision, Amazon Games, Annapurna, Bandai Namco, Behavior, Capcom, CD Projekt, Volver Digital, Digital Extremes, Disney, EA, Epic Games, Focus Entertainment, Gearbox Publishing, Grinding Gear Games, Hoyoverse, Kabam, Larian Studios, Level Infinite, Magic the Gathering, NeoWiz, Netflix, Nexon, Niantic, North Beach Games, Paradox Interactive, Pearl Abyss, Phoenix Labs, PlayOn, PlayStation, Pocket Pair, Razer, Samsung Gaming Hub, Second Dinner, Sega, Smilegate Entertainment, Square Enix, Steam, Techland, the Tribeca Festival, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers Games, and Xbox. They're all on the image right there that Josh has put up. So those are some pretty big partners for 2023.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
very curious to see what Jeff and their team have in store for us this year. Pretty dope, pretty exciting. Looking forward to seeing what what we're gonna have this year. Um, I don't really have any expectations because I always have I in the past I've had expectations and they it's always disappointing when you don't see stuff you're like what you want to see. So I've kind of just been of the mind frame or the mindset that I'm like just show me what you got and I'll either be excited for stuff or I won't.
Yeah.
So
But Baldur's
it's kind
Gate's
of
gonna
how
be
I am.
there because Solarian's there, and I'm pretty excited for that. So
There and yeah. So we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm always looking forward to seeing what they have though every year. I'm always excited when they like announce stuff that we had no idea about because it's always like, all right, like whenever we finally see GTA 6, it's like, all right, cool. We've heard about this game for years, but we've known about it, right? Even though it'll be
yeah.
finally cool to see it. But whenever they're like, here's a game that like is brand new and even the leakers and insiders and people that are in the business had no idea what's happening, that's the type of shit that's like whoa dude. So hopefully I always hope for stuff like that because it's like shit that comes out of nowhere that's surprising.
I always hope for
But
that, and you can play it right now. Those are always hype as shit. Like.
they usually do that stuff too. I mean shit, the last one I can remember was Hi-Fi Rush, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
They announced this game the day of and like, you can play it later today. And it's like, whoa, dude, that's nuts. That's cool. But yeah, interesting and exciting for this year's Summer Game Fest.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure we'll be streaming that too, probably. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
follow our channels, follow DT, follow me,
Yeah.
all that stuff if you want to watch us react and all that stuff.
All right. We can move on to the next thing. Which is that Amazon is making a Lord of the Rings MMO. Again, which we know that they were trying to in an earlier attempt and it was canceled. But the New World Studios is going to make a game based on The Hobbit and the book trilogy. Amazon Games has announced it's making a new, massively multiplayer online game based on Lord of the Rings. Development is being led by New World Studio, Amazon Games, Orange County. This is a all new production, separate from an earlier attempt to make a Lord of the Rings MMO that was canceled by Amazon in 2021. The game will be an open world MMO adventure in a persistent world set in Middle Earth, featuring the beloved stories of The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings literary trilogy, according to the Amazon News' release. It's early in development and likely several years away, but will be coming to PC and consoles, and that's it in terms of details. But obviously we know that Amazon struck a deal with the Embracer Group, which hold the rights to all the Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit stuff. And we know that Amazon has the Rings of Power show going on as well, uh, which is set in an earlier time frame of the universe. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we know is that they're working on another MMO because their first attempt was canceled, but they're trying it again. How do you feel about this, Josh? As probably the more experienced well, no, definitely the more experienced MMO player between the two of us.
It could
That
be
they were making an
exciting.
Amazon one.
Like Lord of the Rings is a massive setting, right? Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
potential there for another MMO because there already is one out there that you could play right now. It is just really old at this point, but it's still got a player base. People still love it. I think when this got announced, they put out a statement about it. Um, uh, but yeah, it'll be cool to see a modern. I'm sorry, old MMO Lord of the Rings. I can't get in. You're so old at this point. I just
Yeah,
can't.
that's how I feel about some of these older games. Like, man, I would like to try them, but they just feel
And
and look and
And
are
don't get
old.
me wrong, I respect that old Lord of the Rings MMO. All the people that are able to play it and keep that game alive. Hats off to you for keeping that game alive because that game is old and and it's not like it's a big massive thing, kind of like a WoW or Final Fantasy type. It's more like I feel like a SWTOR type MMO in terms of size, not necessarily in terms of like support, not support, but you know what I mean. Like, but I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be fun. It'll probably be fun to play with friends. I imagine they'll have raids. I imagine, uh, maybe they'll have like maybe you take part in the Battle of Helm's Deep as like a raid or something. Wouldn't that be interesting and
That would
cool?
be
Or
crazy.
something
Yeah.
like that. Like I don't know exactly what it would be. I'm just using that as an example, but a modern Lord of the Rings MMO would be kind of cool. And I know you're not a big MMO player, but would you check something like this out? Maybe.
I would, yeah, I would check it out because I like, there are some MMOs that I do like. The thing, yeah, I'm obviously not, I've not played as many as you have, and I don't really play them like you do, but I do jump into them from time to time. They could be fun. But being the Lord of the Rings fan that I am, I would definitely give it a shot and try it out for a little bit. I mean, I I think it could be pretty cool depending on how they do it. They're planning on doing it, at least from what we read, off of the um The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so they're really leaning towards, I guess, the book side of things instead of like the movies. So that could be interesting. I don't know how, it all depends. Like it's hard to kind of like get too excited about it, but just like based off the fact that they're doing a Lord of the Rings one, I think it's a good thing because I mean, it's a good universe to do one in, and yeah, I mean, just off of that, I'd be willing to give it a try, give it a shot, but depends on how it actually is gonna be and all that. So yeah,
For
I
sure.
think it's good though. I think it's good news that they're working on one though, for sure.
All right.
Moving on from that, um, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is the fastest selling entry in series history. So the game hasn't even been out for that long, but already over 10 million copies of the game have been sold within the first 3 days of the release. And this was posted already several days ago. So I mean almost a week ago, I would say. So like who knows how many more have sold since then. But
Probably triple.
yeah, so that's nuts that like already with like less than a week with its release and shit has already been, you know, sold like crazy. Or I guess no, it's been over a week since it came out, but crazy. Crazy how much it's sold over already. Like for it to be the fastest selling, you know, game in the series history, that's kind of nuts, dude, cuz Zelda's a pretty big franchise. Well, good for them, man. Good for all the Zelda fans out there.
Yeah.
I like Zelda as well, but I haven't gotten this game yet. I'll get it eventually. It's just Nintendo games, you know, they don't like to go on sale, and now that they're $70, it's gonna take me forever to get one of these games. I feel like so. I'm just gonna wait, and I'll let others who are playing it right now enjoy it and have fun with it. And I've heard nothing but good things about it, so that's good. That is really good. I'm glad for everybody playing it and having fun with it and enjoying it and all that
Yeah.
because it's been good.
Sure.
We can move on, however.
Yeah. Let's hit it.
So we were saying earlier how how Sony's and PlayStation is going to be having their own showcase on Wednesday. Um, the PlayStation Showcase will be live this Wednesday, so in 2 days from now, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is right about now.
Yeah.
Really, in 2 days, as at the time of this filming. Uh, and they say that a wealth of new games and IP are headed to PS5 and PSVR 2. They say it's almost time to see what's next. PlayStation Showcase broadcast live Wednesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. The show will run a bit over an hour, focusing on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development from top studios around the world. Expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games from our third-party partners and creators. Uh, so yeah, that'll be fun. I always like checking that stuff out. We'll see what kind of things they'll have for us to get excited about. Hopefully there'll be some stuff because there's been showcases in the past where I'm like, none of this does anything for me. So yeah. So hopefully we'll have
Yeah.
something this time. Next up, Mortal Kombat 1 ushers in a new era this September. So we have our reveal trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. I actually have not really seen this yet. I've seen like glimpses of it,
I've seen
but I
it.
haven't actually seen the whole thing. I was waiting to watch it here for the podcast with you all. So we're gonna watch it. We're gonna check it out, and we'll give our thoughts on it. So Josh, when you're ready, let me know, and we'll count
File
this
and ready.
some bitch down. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
It is time.
WB Games presents a NetherRealm Studios production.
Time to wake up.
So just based off of this looks pretty good. Like looks wise, like man, that is
in my new era.
that's a lovely looking game.
Choice is yours. Whether to live in quiet serenity.
I guess the game is gonna look this good too, right? This is a cinematic, but like, is this gonna look like this too? The game gonna look like this too?
It probably will. Here's the thing with fighting games I've noticed. Because it's a fighting game, right? Like, they're not going all over the world, so they're not having to put a bunch of resources into that. They can just make the games look really good. So fighting games always end up looking just fantastic because of that reason.
Or united as brothers. But a storm is brewing. And soon you will discover
It's my boy Liu Kang.
that even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for.
Oh.
Oh god. Oh god, the
Why?
eye one. The eye one's awful.
Damn, that kick where he's like going toward, like swinging towards him, and he like drops him down. That's just great.
Paula's favorite trailer. Yes.
Oh boy. That shit is wild, dude. Holy shit, bro. Damn. Fuck.
Mortal Kombat.
Bro, he fucking held them together, grabbed his head, and split that motherfucker in half, dude. Jeez.
Liu Kang don't fuck around, bro.
Jeez, man. That's crazy. I mean, that's how that is Mortal Kombat, but man, wild. So now that we've seen that was my first time like watching it really. So that's nuts. But from an official press release, the following fighters are confirmed: Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Katana, Melina, Kung Lao, Raiden, Johnny Cage, and as a pre-order bonus, Shang Tsung. So Josh, I know you're kind of a Mortal Kombat guy, right? Is you gonna get this game, or are you gonna wait, or what do you think, man?
I want to, but you know, money is always the issue.
So guys, Josh has commissions for dice, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You wanna
make some money, help a boy out. You know, you get something in exchange for it.
Yeah.
So it's not just giving me money.
You'll help him out. You'll help yourself out by having some cool dice, man.
Yeah.
Or somebody you know.
But yeah, I am interested in it because the last couple of Mortal Kombat have had some banger stories. Like, no joke. Like, if you haven't watched the 10 or 11, like just a playthrough of it, it's not long. Go watch it because like it's like watching a movie at times. Like, the stories on them are really good. You know, this one follows up, like, this is spoilers from fucking 11 right here, just watching this trailer, because, it even says following up on the conclusion of both Mortal Kombat 11 and its aftermath expansion, because it had an expansion pack. Liu Kang is now an all-powerful fire god that rules over the reset timeline that he has created. So it is a complete it's not. It's a soft reboot because it's the only person that really probably is going to remember anything is going to be Liu Kang, and he's a god at this point. Like he is reset the timeline. So it's going to be really interesting on what changes, because this is a good chance for them to change things up, right? Like you see a lot of the characters in that trailer, like here's Sub-Zero and Scorpion again, but they look almost like identical twins now. Like, are they actually brothers? Like, what's the deal here? You see Katana and Melina riding around in a cart. Are they close, like family again, or are they gonna be rivals again? Like what's the deal gonna be? So it's a good chance for to kind of reset that and make changes that they may have wanted to make for a while and couldn't, just because they were kind of locked into a lore setting, or all of this. Like the vibes of the trailer are like, it looks old world kind of, but there's also like electric fans and electric lights in the background, like it's all stuff in the back. You have to look at that trailer really closely to notice it. Is it going to be like a more modern, even more modern Mortal Kombat, a future Mortal Kombat? Is it going to be like a modern old Mortal Kombat, with like, here's a setting that looks old, but it's got modern necessities like electricity and stuff. So I don't know, man. Mortal Kombat always has had a special place in my heart. Just because I play in the game as a kid, even though you're not supposed to. Was always fun. I like going over to my cousin's house and we'd be playing Mortal Kombat, or going to Pizza Hut and playing Mortal Kombat on the arcades.
Hey, hell yeah, dude.
I've always liked it. I've always been fascinated by like the stories it tells too, because of look guys, Mortal Kombat lore goes deep. No joke. Like you look this shit up, it goes deep. Alternate timelines, comic books, multiple movies, animated show. Like, there's a lot in the Mortal Kombat world. So yes, to be honest with you, I am looking forward to this. Again, I try not to get excited about things, but to be honest, Mortal Kombat has never really missed with a game, in my opinion, in terms of performance. So
it ain't never let me down. Yeah, I get you.
But if I don't get it, I'll be watching people play at least the story mode, because that stuff is always cool.
So if you do, which one are you gonna get? The standard edition for $69.99, the premium edition for $109.99, or the collector's edition for $249.99?
You get a cool statue in that. The statue for the 250 is neat, but no, I'd just probably buy the standard. Although that Jean-Claude Van Damme character skin for Johnny Cage would be pretty funny though.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
They finally put him in.
Jean-Claude Van Damme character skin for Johnny Cage. Yep. These which you can get in the combat pack.
They have what they're gonna call cameo fighters, and I have no idea what that actually is.
They're probably gonna be more like skin, like Jean-Claude Van Damme skins, right? I'd imagine.
I guess. I don't know.
For other characters, like they'll be like, here's the
because they call it a whole new feature. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it says introduces a new feature called Cameo Fighter. Oh, a unique roster of partner fighters that assist players during matches. I guess that must be what it is. I guess I should have finished reading instead of talking. Yeah, imagine.
Well, we can move on then. Lords of the Fallen is coming on October, Friday the 13th. They dropped the trailer showing off a bit more stuff as well for the gameplay if you want to check that out.
Watch it, why not?
So yeah, let's check it out. It's kind of a beefy trailer here, man. It's almost 4 minutes long. But let's check it out in 3, 2, 1, go.
Mornstead has fallen, its great army decimated by the legions of Adir, the demon god.
Oh
But
man.
one light still flickers in the ever-growing gloom, the light of the Dark Crusader.
Not the Dark Crusader. Look at this guy.
The radiance of Mornstead
Bro,
withers.
it's like Kylo Ren and Hux visiting Snoke when he was a giant hologram.
Mm-hmm.
Adir's darkness threatens to desolate our world. Ascend to
Ew.
order, my child.
Gross.
As his holy redeemer.
It's a fancy looking glove.
In light we walk.
In light we walk.
Burn their very souls to ash.
Damn.
Your
That's a
flesh has
huge
been made
bitch.
sacrosanct with the mark of the Dark Crusaders.
I am a man who walks alone, and when I'm walking alone,
Wow.
The dear game devs, stop using copyrighted music in your trailers, please.
Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly.
Blah 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 blah. First thing you do with that glove is gonna slap some people. That'd be a hell of a slap, dude. It's got rings on it too. I was gonna say, Majin, I wonder how you feel about this game, because I know this is your this is like your type of stuff right here.
Oh man, they're being real edgy with this music. Okay.
Radiance grant me
Yeah.
strength to continue to
Da-da! Look at this lady with her big red wings. Oh, what the hell is that? That looks like something out of Elden Ring. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. Some of this game, there's stuff in this game that definitely reminds me of something you'd see in Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I went ahead and muted this trailer. I can't.
Yeah, it's all good. Look, that's rip off Melania right there, dude.
It definitely is.
Bro, that's kind of blatant. Who thought that was a good idea? Yeah, I don't know, man.
That trailer feels so try hard, like to me.
I kind of agree with what Majin said. I think they're like trying to bank in on Elden Ring, dude.
Feels that way.
Because that looks super Elden Ring-ish.
It does. If it's a hit, fine. But at the same time, that trailer tries so hard with copyright music and like all this shit that does not need to be in it. Actually, that's a whole complaint I'm gonna have. Game devs, stop using copyright music in your fucking trailers. It makes it so hard to get hype or watch it, man. Like I literally have to mute the video. Ugh.
All right. Well, we can move on from that. We got another thing here, which is the last thing I have for the gaming news, which is Frankie Ward put out a tweet on her Twitter, obviously saying that this year's PC gaming show they'll be uncovering a whopping 51 games, and they're going to be using AI to make the show more epic than ever, mark your calendars for June 11th. So the PC gaming show will be on June 11th this year. We're gonna have lots of things. 15 game announcements featuring 55 games from studios all over the world. There's a good chance there's a game you're gonna hear more about. There's a good chance you'll see more of it at the show. They're talking appearances from Baldur's Gate 3, Frostpunk 2, Dune Awakening, a brand new game from
Ooh.
Clay,
Doom.
and bunch of other games. So we will see. This starts also at 1 p.m. Pacific over on June 11th. So yeah.
I'll tell you how, Majin, I guarantee you they're going to be making fun of AI throughout the entire show. I bet you $1 million that's what they're doing. I bet it's going to be them making fun of AI throughout the entire show. I would be surprised if that is not it.
I could see that being the case.
Because that's usually how the PC gaming show is. They always have the robot dude, right? Or they had that robot dude that one time that was
They had
like
the robot dude
silly
last
and
year,
goofy.
didn't they?
I don't remember when he was there, but yeah, whichever one he was there, they always do kind of funny, silly shit with that. I guarantee you that they're gonna be making fun of AI. But yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait for the PC gaming show. It's for all the hype and all the other stuff that we get out of it, right? Out of all the other gaming conferences, like the Xbox thing and PlayStation thing and Summer Games Fest in general. Honestly, PC gaming show is usually the show that has all the things I'm most interested in because it appeals to me. Because I feel like it's like a little bit for the older generation, a little bit. So that's exciting. All right, we can move on to next DT.
All right, moving on. TV news. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I've swapped the text over. Just OBS is being slow.
Alrighty then. So we are on the television news. So the first thing we have here is that Black Mirror season 6 has unveiled titles and plot synopsis for the new episodes. So we have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. And we have title, synopsis, who's gonna be in it. So have you remind me, Josh, have you seen Black Mirror? And if so, like what have you
I
seen?
have not. I have not seen
You have
any of it.
not. Okay.
Not an episode.
Okay, so what you need to know about this then, the show is that it's, I mean, you probably already know this, but it's like it's an anthology. Each episode is its own thing, so you don't have to watch them in order. You can just watch them however you want because they're all different.
Yeah.
And they all have like a bunch of, different actors for each one and all that. But anyway, so the first episode is called Joan is Awful. An average woman is stunned to discover a global streaming platform. To discover a global streaming platform has launched a prestige TV drama adaptation of her life, in which she is portrayed by Hollywood A-lister Salma Hayek. Directed by Ali Panku, Panku, Panky, Panku. I don't know how to say that last name. My apologies. I'm very sorry, but I tried. Written by Charlie Broker, starring Annie Murphy, Salma Hayek, Pinot, Michael Cera, Himesh Patel, Rob Delaney, and Ben Barnes. The next one is called Loch Henry. A young couple travel to a sleepy Scottish town to start work on a genteel nature documentary, but find themselves drawn to a juicy local story involving shocking events of the past. Directed by Sam Miller, written by Charlie Brooker, starring Samuel Blinken, Mahaila Harold, Daniel Portman, John Hannah, and Monica Dolan. The next one is called Beyond the Sea. Set in an alternative 1969, two men on a perilous high-tech mission wrestle with the consequences of an unimaginable tragedy. Directed by John Crowley, written by Charlie Brooker, starring Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett, Kate Mara, Auden Thornton, and Rory Culkin. The next one is Maisie Day. A troubled starlet is dogged by an invasive paparazzi while dealing with the consequences of a hit and run incident. Directed by Uta Breezewitz, written by Charlie Brooker, starring Zazie Beetz, Clara Rugard, and Danny Ramirez. And the fifth and final one is Demon 79. Northern England, 1979. A meek sales assistant is told she must commit terrible acts to prevent disaster. Directed by Toby Haynes, written by Charlie Brooker and Bisha K. Ali, starring Anjana Vasan, Papa Isidou, Catherine Rose Morley, and David Shields. Yeah, I like Black Mirror, man. I can't believe it's been so long since the last season. It's been literal years. Um, like honestly, like I think 2019 was season 4 or season 5 or whatever. Yeah, season 5. So it's been a hell of a while, and it's kind of crazy how I don't know what kind of took them this long to work on another season. Maybe it was COVID, or what, they just kind of wanted to break from it or whatever, but I don't know. It's it's interesting. It's interesting for sure. But I'm excited. I like I said, I like the show. There's been a lot of great episodes so far, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to checking that out whenever these are released. Um, which they have a little little teaser here. I don't know if that has a release date or not, but let me. It's this quick little like 30-second video, so let me see if it has it in here. Because I'm not sure. I think it's just the title reveals, but maybe they'll have a release date at the end of it. I don't know. Oh, June. Oh, next month. Okay. So this is very soon. Yeah, Majin, it's been a long time, man. So yeah, I'll be checking this out when it releases as well, because it's pretty good stuff. Looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, awesome. Cool. All right, moving into some Marvel news. We have release dates for both season 2 of Loki and Echo. So an all new season of Loki starts streaming October 6th, 2023. And all episodes of Echo drop on November 29th. So I think it's interesting that for Loki, they're like, we're gonna stick to our method of, one a week or whatever. And it starts on October 6th. But for Echo, they're like,
Yeah.
all episodes are dropping on November 29th.
I think that shows that they don't have a lot of faith on Echo, to be honest with you, in my humble opinion.
Could be.
For people to come back and watch episode after episode.
Yeah, they're just like, we're just gonna throw it all out there.
They're gonna throw it all out there, and maybe you'll binge it all, and then you'll get it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be shitty on it, but you know what's probably the least interesting part of Hawkeye.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I don't know many people who are super excited for that, and like the people who are excited for that are excited for it because Daredevil and fucking Kingpin, they're gonna be in it. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll
it's
see.
a gamble.
See how it goes.
Majin's right. It's totally a gamble. It definitely feels like we don't expect people to come back to this after you watch it, so just watch it all at once type deal. It's weird. It's weird. All right.
Yeah. So we we'll see how those go. I am excited for Secret Invasion though, which is a good transition to our next Marvel news here, which we have new character posters for Secret Invasion, which will be dropping on June 21st. So about a month from now. So we have a whole new set of character posters. They all say who do you trust? And there's a Nick Fury one. There's Emilia Clark. There is Talos, Gravik, Maria Hill, Pagan, Sonia, Priscilla, Rhodey, Everett Ross. Bunch of character posters here. And yeah. The whole kind of idea or like the premise of this is like everybody has been saying, oh, I know Colby Smulders had recently get interviewed. She's like, oh, you can't trust anybody, It's like, well, that's kind of been the whole thing that we've heard about, and obviously after you and I have now both read the comics, so we kind of know a little bit what to expect, but not really, because there's no way that the comics are going to be 100% accurate to the show or the movie, because it's just not possible. But I'm looking forward to this. It should be. I think the kind of tone and vibe we're gonna be getting is like very Winter Soldier-ish, which is one of my favorite Marvel movies. And yeah, I'm just very curious and uh to see how they're gonna do adapt this into into the series. So we don't have to wait too much longer now, only about a month, and then we'll see. But I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good though. So yeah, we're about a month away from this. That'll do it for our Marvel news. So moving on from that, um, we have Archer, the FX show, the animated FX comedy show will be ending with season 14, which starts on August 30th.
Hell
Uh,
of a run.
yep, it's a hell of a run, dude. They announced their premiere or summer dates, including August 30th return, which will be 14th and final season on FXX for Archer. It'll begin its farewell with 2 episodes starting at 10 p.m., which will both be available on the following day on Hulu. Production is already underway. And Archer joined the previously announced 16th season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on FX and FXX this summer. The other premiere dates they announced were What We Do in the Shadows season 5, Justified City Primeval, and Reservation Dogs. So FX doing things still. And yeah, I like Archer. I need to catch up. I'm like three or four seasons behind. So I gotta at some point catch up and get to the point. But it's ending, so I'll have a good like stopping point and all that, and eventually I'll be able to catch up. It won't be one of those things where it's like, well, man, I gotta catch up on like 10 seasons. It's like, nah, I only got a few to catch up on. It's gonna be ending, and yeah, the show it makes sense for it to end. Like it's been going on for a while, and you know Mallory is obviously not a part of it anymore. Jessica Walter passed away a few years ago, and it just it feels right. It makes sense. Speaking of Hulu, the Futurama revival at Hulu has set its premiere date as well, and they dropped the first teaser. Uh, the new episodes of the beloved sci-fi animated series. Officially, the show's 8th season will debut on Hulu on July 24th. New episodes will drop weekly on Mondays thereafter. with season 11 or season 8, depending on how you break it down, consisting of 10 episodes. Indeed. Hulu commissioned 20 episodes in total back in February 2022. So I know Josh, you're a
I
big
haven't seen
Futurama
this
guy.
yet.
I was gonna ask if you've seen it. Okay, you haven't. So let's check it out then. Let's watch it. Let's see what they got for us here. It's a very oh shit, it's a very short teaser. It's
Yeah,
only
it's like
17
18
seconds.
seconds.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
anyway. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh yeah. We're back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
Amazing how
All
this
right.
show keeps getting brought back.
Right?
It's been killed like 2 times. It won't stay dead.
What I think is cool about that is I think it's crazy how the animation looks consistent to what the rest of the show looks like, right?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's cool. That would be pretty dope. And all the original voice cast is coming back. John DiMaggio for a little bit was not coming back, but then they kind of settled that and he's coming back now. So I think we have everybody. Billy West, Katie Seagal, Maurice LaMarche, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, John DiMaggio, David Herman, Tress McNally. So yeah. Cool.
Ew. I'm excited.
Awesome. So we have one more trailer here to watch, and this is the one that I've
coming-
been curious about because now that I've watched season 1, I can finally check this out. Let's see what we got here, man. The Bear season 2 official trailer. Here we go. Let's check this out in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is coming from a place of wanting to start fresh and clean.
This is going to be a destination spot.
We drafted a quick term sheet.
We need more money.
Will you turn that thing off, please? How's it not making you insane?
I don't mind it. It's a facelift, it's not a gut.
Bear, it is a facelift and a gut.
It's gonna take 6 months to open.
6 months?
That's being
What, confident?
cocky. Crazy.
Still thinking chaos menu?
Yeah, chaos.
Oh man, there's more food.
Thoughtful. Ugh, gross. We need like a reset. I'm trying to start from a place of positivity.
I have to say I really like the soundtrack for this show.
Yeah.
Clock is ticking.
After watching it each
gonna be
episode, I'm
sending
like,
you to
damn,
culinary
this is
school.
nice.
Hell of a lot of Sydneys in here.
Don't look him in the eyes.
Ideally, we need 5 days on.
Yeah, I just can't do Fridays or Saturdays.
When can I talk to the chef?
You are.
Oh.
Oh! Don't freak out and go calling for Mom. Mom! I'm gonna call Mom. Call Mom. She can't hear you.
That's my love.
The supervisor. Supervisor what?
I need a chance, a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a word, a sentence.
You got this, baby.
Yes, chef.
For myself, or catch myself.
So how's your life been, Brazado?
Opening a restaurant. Gotta go hard every day. Gotta control the zone.
I love the name.
You don't remember the name.
Of course I remember the name.
We didn't even tell anybody the name.
100% told me the name.
How could you remember the name? Your shirt says original birth.
Yeah, it's a pretty mistake.
Birth.
Collector's item.
June 22nd. Damn, that's a month away too, man. Shit, we got
Also-
Secret Invasion and this and
It's all
Strange New
episodes too,
Worlds.
by the way.
oh shit, really?
Yeah, they did that with the last
Oh.
Bear season.
Okay, damn. Okay, fuck. Oh, we got a lot. We got a lot of TV to watch next month, man. Damn. All right. Well, that looks cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I can see how after you. I remember at one point you had gotten this like cooking game, and I'm like,
Yes.
I bet it was after you watched this show, right?
It made
You're
me.
like,
Yes, chef.
yes, chef.
Yes,
Hands,
chef.
hands,
Hands corner. Behind.
corner. Yep.
I love that
show's
show.
great.
It's so good.
Now that I've seen it, definitely recommend it. Check it out, everybody. Just it's really short, man. Like it's half-hour episodes, only 8 episodes, so it's not like you can it'll take you forever. I knocked it out in one night. Like it was, it's good. So definitely recommend checking it out. And that'll do it for our TV news. Let's quickly get through our movie news because I'm not gonna lie, Josh, I'm gonna need a break after this.
I got you. Let's do it.
So let's check it out. So the first thing we have here is that Beetlejuice 2 is set for fall 2024. Jenna Ortega will star in the Warner Brothers sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 film. So they have put out a release date of September 6, 2024 for Beetlejuice 2, the long-awaited sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 film that starred Michael Keaton as the titular ghost with the most. It'll reunite Burton with his Wednesday star Jenna Ortega, who sources say will play the daughter of Lydia, the character played by Winona Ryder in the first movie. Keaton is expected to return as well, and it will have a script from Wednesday creators Alfred Goh and Miles Millar. In addition to her joining the movie, I believe Justin Theroux is also going to be joining the cast for this movie. Not much is known about the sequel other than what we are saying here with the casting news. And that has a release date now. But I think like there's going to be more returning cast members as well from the first movie. Like I want to say Catherine O'Hara is returning again as well, but I haven't seen
I thought I saw that she was too. I don't remember where I saw that.
Yeah, I think she is. I haven't. I can confirm her real quick, but because I don't have it in the notes right now. But
Gotcha.
I think she's returning as well. I think she's coming back. Come on, Google. But anyway, I think she is coming back. I think most. Yeah, she's returning. She's returning in the second movie as well. As the original character Delia Dietz. Yep. Cool. Good stuff. Makes sense. Monica Bellucci is also joining the cast, by the way. So we're getting a lot of casting announcements for Beetlejuice 2, which is about like the only stuff we know about the movie right now. Is just all these casting announcements. So yeah, Monica Bellucci's joining, Catherine O'Hara is returning. Obviously Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder's coming back playing Jenna Ortega's mom. So Bellucci will play Beetlejuice's wife. That's what we know about her character.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I can't say I'm the biggest Beetlejuice fan, but I mean I think the movie is like fun.
Dale.
What it is. Dale. Moving on, we have a trailer for Arnold coming to us from Netflix. So let's check this out. It's a 3-part documentary series, which I guess shouldn't be in the movie news, but I guess I messed up when I put this in
It's
here.
fine.
Anyway, we'll watch it now.
Arnold's a movie star. It's cool.
He's a movie star. Yeah, that's probably why I put it in here. But anyway, it's a 3-part doc series. Let's check it out. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
I sold myself on that stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Thousands of people screaming, Arnold,
Arnold.
And when you visualize something very clearly, you believe that you 100% can get there. There was a lot of things they had to learn.
obstacles that they had to overcome. You can get an injury, then all your athletic stuff is over. But the only thing that no one can take from you is your mind.
Arnold Schwarzenegger terminated his box office competition.
I was looking for another challenge. Politics.
The governor.
He had no staff, no real plan.
Makeup, please.
He blew up the political system.
There's problems and problems, but I want to do the things that everyone calls impossible.
I'll be back.
People will remember my successes, and they will also remember those failures. It was very tough on my marriage, on my relationship with the kids. I have caused enough pain for my family. I'm gonna have to live with it the rest of my life.
Why did you give up?
Well, because my vision didn't talk about giving up. My vision was climbing that mountain.
He's the guy who turns his boat towards the torpedo.
If you're always hungry, you're never really satisfied. No matter what it takes, work your ass off. Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now. They gonna get into the nitty grittiness here, man.
Yeah, success and failures. I'm about it. That looks good.
June 7th. That's a couple weeks away. I'll be checking that out.
Yeah, I'll be looking at that too.
So it should be interesting. Cool. Moving on from that. We have some more casting news for Paramount's Gladiator sequel. Joining the cast of the Oscar-winning hit Gladiator, May Kalamaui, Leo Raz, Derek Jacobi returning, and Peter Mensah and Matt Lucas. Also in talks to join the remaining cast is Fred Heschinger from The White Lotus, who is in negotiations to play Emperor Geta, who Barry Keoghan was in negotiations to play with the character, but scheduling conflicts forced him to fall out of the project. And the cast already includes Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, and Connie Nielsen. Nielsen, who will be reprising her role as Lucilla, and Jacobi will also be returning from the first movie, reprising his role as Gracchus. Ridley Scott is back to direct, and David Scarpa is writing the script. Hell of a cast. I do love me some May Kalamaui, who played the Scarlet Scarab in the Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she's gonna be in more stuff. And Derek Jacobi is cool that he's coming back from the first one. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So I'm really curious about this movie, man. Like, it's been so long since the first one came out.
Right.
That I'm like, what do they have planned for it? Like, obviously they're gonna be they got a lot of the same like team that was on the first movie, even though it's been like 20 fucking years later or more. I mean, more than 20 now, but yeah, it's nuts. Should be good though. I mean, the cast seems solid. They're bringing back Ridley Scott. Yeah, interesting. And I love the first movie, so I'm hoping much success for this one. Also, speaking of returning characters, we have Brianna Hittelbrand and Shioli Kutsuna returning for Deadpool 3. They are returning for their characters as well. Hittelbrand is reprising her role as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And Kutsuna is Yukio, a Japanese mutant ninja introduced in Deadpool 2. So that's pretty cool that they're bringing back certain characters. I feel like I gotta rewatch the second one because I have only seen that one once and I didn't really like it as much as everybody else did. I feel like
I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
Not a
I
big
thought it was
fan.
whatever. I like the first one a lot more than the second one. Um. So yeah. Cool. What else is happening? Oh, speaking of a third movie, Venom 3, dude. Chiwetel Ejiofor is joining Tom Hardy in the next installment. So obviously we know Chiwetel Ejiofor was Mordo in the Doctor Strange movies for the MCU. But now he's gonna be joining the Venomverse. We have no idea who he's gonna be playing, or anything like that. But I don't know how that's gonna work, considering like these movies are kind of connected to the MCU, but also not really, right? But having like him be Mordo in the MCU and then him being maybe some other character in this is gonna be kind of weird. I don't know. It's gonna be weird for me. Like I mean, ultimately, I don't really care, but because I don't think these Venom movies are that good at all. But
Yeah.
it's kind of weird when you're like, these movies are kind of connected to the MCU, but then they're not. But then we're having a character, or we have an actor who's already a character in the other movies be something else in this one. I don't know. It gets weird, and I don't like it. But I mean, whatever. But yeah, we don't know who he's playing, so there's not other much information other than he's joining the movie. We can move on from that. And the second movie was just not good. I finally watched it recently, and it's just not great. Speaking of second movies, though, we have a trailer for Extraction 2. We have an official trailer. So, Josh, if you want to check that out,
Must watch it.
let's check it out, my friend. And then we will, see what we have to say about that, I think. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Tyler, you were clinically dead 9 months ago. But you survived. You fought your way back. You just have to find out why. We got a contract.
I remember watching some behind the scenes clip where they were on the train. Do you remember that? I feel like we saw it on here. On podcast.
Yeah. We did. Now that you bring it up, we definitely did. Because we've seen something else from this movie on the podcast before. I don't remember what exactly. Maybe it was a teaser or something, but we definitely have seen something.
Yeah.
We gotta move! Right, everyone okay? Kids, you good?
Why did you come back for them? Do you know her? Tyler?
Getting you out of here, okay? You told me to find the reason I fought my way back. Let's find out.
Damn.
June 16th. That's also really soon.
It actually looks pretty good. I like the first one. You know, I watched it with my dad. It kind of makes you think of those like action movies you watched growing up. You know, that type of action movie.
Yeah, I also really like the first one. That was good. Like I don't know what I was like. I wasn't expecting much from it, to be honest. But then I was like, this is actually not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that first one again. Get ready for the second. All right, what's next,
Yes,
DT?
sir. Next up, we have a trailer for Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I also haven't seen this.
I haven't seen this.
I wanted to react to it, or I thought about reacting to it because I recently caught up, as you guys know, on all the movies. So I'm like fully caught up now, and you know, I want to check this out. So yeah, let's see it, dude. 3, 2, 1, go.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. And we cannot escape the past. Ethan, this mission of yours is gonna cost you dearly.
Dun 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 dun
The world is
dun.
changing. Truth is vanishing. War is coming.
It's been a long time, friend. You've no idea the power I represent. It knows your story and how it ends.
Bro, Haley Atwell, let's go.
Listen to me. The world's coming after you.
His fate is written.
Oh shit, is that Palm? I forgot she was gonna be in this.
If anything happens to
Hold up.
there's no place that I won't go to kill you. That is written.
Nah, fuck that, dude.
Tom Cruise is a crazy motherfucker, dude.
What's your objective? What's your ultimate objective?
What is it with trains? Fighting on trains lately.
They're good set pieces, man.
Nobody takes the train anymore.
That's. I actually have never been on a train, man. I'd love to be on an actual train. I just never been one.
I have one time.
Damn. Bro, this movie looks badass. Holy shit.
July 12th. Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, I like these movies, man. They're a lot of fun. They're fun action movies. So I think that looks rad as hell. Like I said, I recently caught up with all of the whole franchise. Fully caught up on update. And holy shit, dude, I'm looking at the cast right now because I forgot some of these people were gonna be in it, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell? Obviously, Vanessa Kirby's coming back. She was in Fallout and whatnot. And dude, I love the addition of Haley Atwell. And dude, Palm Clementif, yes. Yes. Carrie Elwes is gonna be joining. Charles Parnell. Man, Indita Varma, like it's crazy. Crazy. Rebecca Ferguson is coming back. She's great in this series as well. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a good movie, man.
Yeah. It's a good
That was
trailer
cool as
too,
well.
because it didn't give anything away at all. I had no idea
That was a great
anything
trailer.
that's gonna happen.
All right. Now, this just dropped not long ago, so I just added it in here.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just a little clip uh for Spider-Verse. But let's check it out. It's pretty short. 50-second clip from the movie. But in
Check it out.
3, 2, 1, go.
Drop what you're doing and stop Spider-Man.
Oh God.
Miles Morales, he's entering Sector 4.
Do I have web on my face? What's the deal?
Miles, he's right there. He's right. Turn around.
I don't see anything, boss.
Oh shit. Oh, that's gross.
Oh shit! Look at that. That's Jake's favorite. Yep.
I looked at my uncle and.
Let me guess. He died?
That looks nutty, dude.
I can't wait to see that.
Bro, that's gonna be so good. The Spider Society. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I really want to watch that in the theaters, man. It's gonna be so good. But that's our movie news, man. That's it right there.
That's it, guys. We're gonna take a quick break. I know DT needs one. I could use one.
Yes, sir.
You guys at home could probably use one. We'll be right back after this, and we'll talk about Guardians. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back.
Hello, everyone. We are back with part 2 of the show. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. There will be spoilers, I'm sure. So if you haven't seen it yet, now is your chance to vacate the premises. But yeah, come back after you've seen it and get our thoughts on it, if you want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up the Guardians of the Galaxy text. Go ahead and leave. Going forward, spoilers. All right, DT.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Hell of a movie. Did you like it, Josh?
I did like it. I liked it a lot. I liked it more than I thought I was going to, actually. How about you?
Yeah, I also liked it. I was really curious how I was gonna feel about this movie. Because I wasn't the biggest like. I think the second one is like the weakest one for me
Yeah, for sure.
between the first two, or the 1 and 2. So I was like, how am I gonna feel about this one? And I mean, I did end up liking it, and I think I think like the story for this one is like pretty basic too, but like because the whole thing is like you gotta save your friend because your friend is like got hurt, and the only way you could do it is by infiltrating this one specific place that kind of fucked him up and did this to him, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the general idea of it, but I think this movie is a little bit more personal and more emotional than some other movies, and I think that really works in its favor. That there's not like the whole story is not like a big galaxy defending, or wide event, or it's not like a huge giant, like it's not like an Avengers movie or anything like that. It's more of a personal story, and I think it really works in its favor. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Avengers movies, and I love that kind of stuff, but man, a good like personal, like emotional story really hits, dude. And I think like for this movie it really did that. Like, I know James Gunn has been saying that Rocket has been kind of the secret protagonist all along, kind of. And you really get to see that in this movie. This is like his movie, man. Like it's It's pretty nuts. I mean, all the characters get moments to shine, but like I feel like it is a pretty big rocket movie.
It is for sure.
And yeah, man, it hits for sure.
Yeah, it really is. Sometimes it's good to go back, like, man, look at all these world-ending threats. You know, sometimes it's good to go back and get that smaller, more personal type story. And definitely a smart move with this movie, while dealing with like a lot of the previous Fallout, right? With like Gamora and Peter Quill's traumas, and really all of the characters really have suffered some sort of thing that they kind of have to deal with in this movie quite a bit. So
yeah. Well, where do we even go into it after this? There's a lot to talk about in this movie. So what's kind of the first thing you want to get into here?
Let's see, what can we talk about? Well, like you said, it's a rocket movie, so maybe we should start with most of the rocket stuff, which is like,
okay,
our boy Adam Warlock shows up and
just fucking hurts him so bad.
fucks everybody up, really, and then wounds Rocket in a way that they have to figure out how to save him, and then we kind of get all these. We start getting Rocket flashbacks, right? So,
which
finally
man,
get those Rocket flashbacks.
All those Rocket flashbacks are kind of dark, bro.
Oh my god,
they were like this movie earned its PG-13 rating. I feel like with how like dark and like not really for kids how some of this shit was, man. I was like, damn, there's some fucked up shit they're doing to these animals, bro.
In
like,
my theater,
geez.
In my theater, there were little kids there, and I just thought, these poor children are going to be traumatized.
They're scarred for life after this.
But I don't think I ever heard any like crying or anything. In fact, the kids at the end of the movie, I think it's weird when adults clap at the end of a movie, but I get it when a kid does it because kids are kids and they get excited about things. But they were the ones clapping at the end of the movie were the kids, so I guess they were okay. But
they enjoyed it, yeah.
But yeah, we get to see baby Rocket Raccoon.
Baby Rocket,
you know?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, guys, it has been a while since I've seen the movie, so it's been like a few weeks.
We should clarify that we saw this movie, like I saw it opening weekend. You saw it opening weekend too, right?
Yeah.
So we saw this movie opening weekend, so it's been a couple weeks now. We were gonna talk about this movie last week, but you know, stuff happens and we're here now talking about it instead.
Let's just do that thing we always do. Let's jump around. What's just some of your favorite parts of the movie? Like,
so I like the soundtrack for this movie. I know a lot of people have been saying that it's kind of the weaker soundtrack of the three movies. I like it. I mean, I've only listened to it all once, you know, when I watched the movie, but a lot of those songs I really enjoy and I dug them, and I don't really have an issue with the soundtrack at all. Really, I don't. You know, I'm not, you know, like other people seem to have. Like I dug it. That was fine.
Yeah, I like the soundtrack a lot. I'm not a big music guy. We've had shows about me and music on podcasts before. So I'm just like a fan of music in general for the most part. So things like comparing one to the other doesn't, in my brain, doesn't make sense, because it's like, well, that's that music, that's just different, and then that's this music, that's just different, you know, like, so for me, it's not like better or worse. It's just music, and I enjoy it. So I did like the soundtrack to this film quite a bit. Let's see what else.
So I want to get to some stuff, but later. We're kind of talking about things we do like, so I want to. There's
Okay, I
something
got
that
you.
I didn't like as much, but we'll
I
get
got
to
you.
that later. Things I do like though, um, in this movie is let's see. Again, the personal story, the backstory with Rocket, I really enjoyed. Getting to see kind of the team like in its current state, I thought was kind of interesting. Like without Gamora, like so it's kind of weird that Gamora is back, but she's not with them.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's a different Gamora and all that, but I don't know. It was kind of that was kind of weird. Well, let me not get into negatives because I some of that Gamora stuff it goes into some of my negatives, but um oh, I'll tell you one thing I did like those new suits.
Yeah.
They look like the comic book suits, which I really like. But then you know what? One thing I don't like really quickly is that Star-Lord does not use his helmet the entire movie. And that suit looks so good with the helmet, and he didn't use it once. Not even when he was floating out in space dying, bro. I'm like, what happened to your helmet? Where is it?
Didn't they get destroyed in the second movie?
I don't remember. Maybe I it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But you could be right. I was just like, where's the helmet? It looks so cool, man. And it wasn't in the whole movie at all. I was like,
Well,
damn.
does it matter? Because he uses the helmet in Infinity. Does he use it in the? Wait, did it get destroyed? I'm having a hard time remembering what happened to the helmet.
I don't know. All I can remember when I was watching the movie was like, where is his helmet, bro? I want to see him wear it with the suit. Because the new suits are so cool. And if you look at like the comic version of the suits with the he has the helmet there and it looks so cool. Even in the Guardians game that came out, you can have that style of suit and it looks so cool with the helmet.
Oh.
And all I could think of was like, man, he doesn't have this entire movie. That sucks.
Google has not let me down. Here's what happened.
Okay.
So, it was destroyed in Volume 2, and it was intended to be permanent by James Gunn. Hence why it was not featured in Guardian of the Galaxy's Volume 3. However, Star-Lord had a replacement in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and Gunn tweeted that Star-Lord left the helmet in his room on nowhere as he was in a rush to leave and save Rocket, thereby giving a canon explanation for his lack of headgear in Volume 3. So, what it comes down to is James Gunn didn't want the helmet. Probably.
Damn you, James Gunn. It's such a cool helmet. But anyway,
yeah,
whatever.
They could have had it just for like a scene for us that like the helmet and the suit and all that. It would have been nice, whatever. I guess.
It would have been cool. And then like in the end when he's fucking I guess they have to add that like drama and like tension. Oh, he's dying in space, but whatever. It's just like if you had just gotten it, man, you'd have been all right. But anyway.
They could have had it and had it be destroyed again. I guess that would have been a little too cliche again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I get it, but it's like really, I don't know. I like the helmet. But anyway,
I like the helmet too.
I like the suits. Is what started this. I like the new suits. I like Cosmo. She was cool, even though I feel like we didn't really get a whole lot of her, but she was cool.
Her and Kraglin hanging out with Bad Dog. That whole bit.
Yeah, Bad Dog. No, I am good dog.
I like how upset Cosmo was over that.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That was so funny how upset she was over that stuff. What else? Yeah, the team that we had was seeing them like together was great. I like also just how much kind of we got more interactions with like certain characters, if that makes sense. Like with Mantis, kind of got like I feel like she got a little bit more to do, and
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. The humor stayed consistent to me. I feel like, like it wasn't a situation of like where
you're in love with him,
or yeah, it wasn't like a situation where I felt like in Love and Thunder or Ragnarok and then Love and Thunder, where I'm like I feel like Ragnarok was like perfect, right? And then Love and Thunder they overdid it. I didn't feel like that was the case in this movie. I feel like they kept it pretty consistently.
Love and Thunder went too far.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But I felt like that was consistent for the most part, and yeah. So that is good because I like when things are consistent in that regard. Um, and they don't like switch things up just for the sake of doing so for no damn reason. But yeah. So yeah, the Rocket backstory I really like too, even though it was fucked up and dark and all that. And I
Yeah.
really have to give props to Bradley Cooper, man, because he did great. Even though he's just like the voice for the character, like and you could feel the emotion and stuff behind his crying, you know, raccoon, pretty much, right? And
Yeah.
just like certain things hit different now, you know, uh, like shit, the Yondu stuff, man. Like Yondu makes an appearance, man.
Yeah.
And I think in one of the previous movies, Yondu has a conversation with Rocket himself, and I'm like that hits that is like upon rewatch, that's gonna be different now too. So
Mm-hmm.
there are things here and there that like when you like encapsulate all three of them and put them together, you're like, man, that you can call back this from when this character talked to that character and it like it fits in and it works. Um, yeah, and I really like Nebula as well. Karen Gillan did good. How did you feel about the High Evolutionary, Chukwudi Iwuji? Because I feel like he did great.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was really good. I thought he played an interesting villain with layers to him a little bit. Like there was no God, so I became God. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact quote, but that's basically what he's
And
doing.
he's not like the type of villain like in the first movie. What's his name? Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like Ronan. He's like this like badass dude with a big hammer and shit. Like he's just like because there wasn't really like a big fight in this movie when they got him, right? They were just like they kind of all like ganged up on him and whooped his ass, right? That's kind of what happened like towards the end. So it wasn't like, and like to be fair, that wasn't really the case in the first movie either, because I mean there was the dance off or whatever, but like in like other types of movies, like you have certain types of villains, like in the first movie they would have like had this big like fight or whatever, like one-on-one, like maybe Star-Lord against Ronan, but they ended up doing a dance off. Then like in this movie they kind of just were like, you're a dude, and they like ripped off his face and shit, and after beating him up and all that, and it was so I thought he was a good villain though. I enjoyed it.
There is no God. That's why I stepped in. That's what he says. I found it.
Yes.
That's what he says.
Yeah. Which also takes me to my next question. How'd you feel about Will Poulter as Adam Warlock? Because I know I have heard some people were kind of disappointed by that, but I thought he did for what he did. I thought he was fine. I thought he was good.
Yeah, I think he was fine for what it was. It's just the first movie. He's not the star of the show. The Guardians are the star of the show, and I think that's kind of the OG Guardians.
Clarify, yeah.
Yeah.
This is our last hurrah with the OG group,
And they even talk about it in the movie. They're like, he got out of his cocoon early, like you took him out too early.
Yeah.
He's not done growing, so he's a little stupid, which is fine about things. But I thought he was fine. Like I didn't understand everybody. Here's the thing: anybody that sees a character for the first time, they have this need for them to be at full power immediately. But you have no growth if you go full power immediately. Where are you gonna go after you hit your full, strength? Okay, you can do that in comic books because you're gonna have comic books forever. But in like movies, it's important to storytelling to show that character grow over a period of time, right? So, like, I don't understand why people are kind of. I mean, I guess I understand it, but I think people need to be more realistic with their thoughts on it. Like, that's the first movie, my guy. This is a character that's probably going to stick around in the MCU for a while, right? Like,
well, and we know he is because of the the end of the movie or the post credits. Like
exactly.
he is. Well, let's just talk about that. There's going to be a new team.
Yeah.
So from the start of this movie to the end of this movie, we know there's a new team. So, yeah. Which I mean, we should probably just talk about it. So that new team.
Talk about anything you want to talk about. Go for it.
So let's just talk about that post credit scene, right?
Yes.
So the new Guardians of the Galaxy team. At the end of the movie, we have Rocket take over as leader from Star-Lord because Star-Lord has goes off to find his grandpa, which he gets reminded of. He's like, you know what? I haven't seen him in a while. Let me go back to Earth. Which that in its own is very interesting too, because I'm like, they say Star-Lord is gonna come back. They say the legendary Star-Lord will return. I'm like, in what? How? That to me is like where's what? Like he's not Guardian anymore. Like what is he gonna show up in? And he's on Earth. So it's like if he shows up on stuff, he's gonna be on Earth, right? Like is he gonna show up? Like what is he gonna show up in of all the stuff we have coming up? Like what could he fit into? Like it made my brain kind of be like, what do we have coming up that he's gonna show up in? And we can talk about that in a little bit. But going back to the new Guardians team, real quick. So we have Rocket Raccoon, of course, as the new leader, taking over for Star-Lord. We have Groot. He ain't going anywhere. He's like Chewie to Han Solo's Groot.
True.
Or to Rocket's Groot. Or fuck, I'm mixing it all up. Groot is the Chewie to Rocket's Han Solo. That's what I meant to say. Fuck, so many names. Kraglin is a Guardian. Cosmo is another Guardian. Adam Warlock is now a Guardian. And then Phyla, the young girl that they save, who was one of the many star kids that were part of the High Evolutionaries, experiments and batches of experiments, of all that. And we see that Rocket and some of the other Guardians have taught Phyla English. But we see that she has her own powers of her own, which are kind of they're not explained, but I mean it's the MCU, so we'll find out next time, I'm sure. And as I was watching this movie, I was like, okay, I wonder who she is, because I don't know who this. I wasn't sure if she was a comic character or anything like that, but apparently, because I Googled it afterwards, and because I was curious, right? I was interested. I'm like, what is this? The character she's probably going to be is Phyla Vell, who in the comics is a descendant of the OG Captain Marvel, Marvel. So Phyla Vell, Marvel makes sense. But she's part of the team, and again, further proof of the Young Avengers and all that. All these the younger hero characters in the MCU we're gonna be getting. I mean, you've already gotten some of them, like America Chavez and the Falcon Winter Soldier kid, and bunch of other people. But anyway, so that's the new team. How do you feel about the new team going forward? Because I mean, I love the OG team, so they'll always have that soft spot. But I think this new team is interesting and it has potential, but they're so new that I feel like it's gonna take a while for us to warm up to them. But that's my opinion. Well, how do you?
That's
feel
the thing. No, I feel pretty much the same as you. It's also going to be weird without James Gunn, right, driving the ship. So
yeah,
like
that's also true. Yeah,
because when I think of the Guardians, I think James, right? So now we're gonna have new Guardians and no James. Who's gonna take over? Is it gonna be are they gonna give them to a different director and like writer every movie? Are they gonna have because I think that's one of the things that Guardians kind of had to its advantage for the most part, is like James was driving that bus as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So is it not going to be like that anymore? Or what are the plans with the Guardians in the future? Like, are they going to have their own movies, or are they just going to show up in other movies? What are they going to do with them? Like, who knows? So yeah, gonna take some time. I'm kind of curious to what they'll do next. For sure. I do like the new team. And Groot is a fucking giant now, which is
yeah.
Groot and his changes, his whole life cycle is fascinating, right? Like, he was buff as shit in this movie, and then at the post-credit scenes, he's a fucking giant ass tree. Thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, so I read that James Gunn himself was the one that chose the new team of Guardians. So it's not like Marvel did it or anything. Like he was the one that was like, these are the people. Like, this is the team. This is the new team, and I'm gonna choose them. So he himself handpicked the new members. But it makes me wonder, like, are they gonna stick with that team, or or are they eventually gonna like change it and in any way? Like, are they gonna add people or move people or whatever? But yeah, he was asking or somebody you know how he likes to answer questions on Twitter and stuff. Somebody asked him, like, did you get to choose a new team, or was it the studio? And he said yes and no, or yes, no. So he chose them. Studio did not. So yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, with him kind of being out of, the kind of the MCU with Guardians and stuff, that being his last run, like, is he gonna, like, what are they gonna do with the Guardians going forward, and like, and just like, where is Star Lord gonna uh like show up in, like, because we know that some actors are done. Like, we've known since before the movie came out that Bautista was like, I'm done with Drax. I don't want to do that anymore. He says, with Drax, I got to end the perfect way. Uh, I would I would never sign up for another job as Drax just to get a paycheck. It would tarnish that perfect ending, and I won't do it. Is what he says, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Zoe Saldana was like, "This is the end for her as Gamora." So we have Gamora and Drax both out. Star Lord obviously is returning. In what? Who knows? The rest of the Guardians will be persisting, but like, in what form now? I don't know. So there's just all these questions of, like, where can these characters show up, and like, where do you think? So there's two questions in this. Number one, where do you think the Guardians, the new team, is going to show up in other stuff? And then number two, where do you think Star Lord is going to show up in for
I think
future things? And
I think both are going to be in Secret Wars. Personally, that's what I think.
Okay.
What about you? Like, I think that's where they're going to show up if we see them again. Because I feel like that's phase 6, right? And here's the thing: all of that could change with everything going on right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like we have Kang and the whole Jonathan Majors things happening, and like it's getting weird. So, but I feel like, because that's what my first thought was, is like they'll be in. I don't know if the Guardians of specifically show up. They might, but I think for sure Peter Quill, Star Lord will show up in one of those next two Avengers movies. And Secret Wars is going to be that thing where you get like probably a lot of people in, kind of. So I feel like if him returning would probably make the most sense there, because it's a good long way away, so it'd be long enough for it to be a surprise. A bit.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna say, it's like Secret Wars is like 3 years away.
Yeah.
So, but I was gonna bring up the next couple of shows that we're gonna be getting, and movies. So we can kind of maybe like try to guess at where, but yours is a good guess, because I wasn't, like, I was trying to think of like what's coming up, but
looking at everything, I really don't see him as showing up in any of these. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's upcoming that's like I don't see them in. I just don't know where they would fit in. You know.
I think anything recent would be too soon after saying goodbye in Volume 3 too.
I agree. I agree with that. Like, so for everybody at home or wherever you are listening or watching this, for the rest of Phase 5 for the movies, we have the Marvels, which I mean that is space stuff, so maybe I'll give it like the tiniest percentage that they could show up just because it's space stuff.
Like a 5% or something like that.
Yeah. Then after that we have Captain America New World Order. I think there's no chance in that one. Thunderbolts and then Blade. Those are the next 3 movies or the next 4 movies. The Marvels, Captain America New World Order, Thunderbolts and Blade.
Can you imagine if Star-Lord showed up in Blade?
In Blade? That would be...
He just teams up with Blade, starts killing vampires and shit.
That would be like, so like you have like this dark, gritty movie, and then he just shows up cracking jokes and shit. Like,
nah, that's never gonna happen. But fuck, that'd be funny if it did.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Yeah. Anyway, those are the movies coming up. And then for the shows, we have Secret Invasion, Loki season 2, Echo, What If, Ironheart, Agatha Coven of Chaos, and Daredevil Born Again. And yeah, you're right. I don't see any of that. So now that I'm looking at this, I think you're probably going to be right. I think they're going to show up in the next Avengers movies, if anything.
You know what?
Which those are... So the Kang Dynasty is 2025, and then Secret Wars is 2026. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Guardians could show up in Fantastic Four. Like, I could see that like happening. Maybe not very long in there, but I could see them like if they do the space stuff with Fantastic Four, right? Like, like an opening, and maybe the Guardians like. Might be just it happened in the area and something happens. Maybe I could see that.
Okay, I was gonna say like where do you think they could after you said that, but now that you explain like with the space stuff, I see it.
If they do that, although I don't think we spend very long in space with the Fantastic Four.
No,
I could be wrong.
It really depends on how they do it and all that. But
yeah, I have no idea how they do it, but I could totally see that happening.
Yeah,
I also thought about Star-Lord in Deadpool 3 because like.
Just because of the humor aspect of it?
Yes, because like just that movie's gonna be meta as fuck. Could you just imagine Deadpool being like, "Hey, it's Peter Quill," fucking, like that kind of shit. It's Star-Lord. I don't know how they're gonna do that at all, but I could totally see that. But the safest bet is definitely probably Avengers, one of the 2 Avengers, maybe even both.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that because a lot of the other stuff coming up, it's like doesn't really leave much room for them to kind of appear anywhere. I feel like. So, all right, well, that's for the Guardians, and then how about Star-Lord? It just
probably Secret Wars, to be honest.
Okay, because I don't know where he would show up, man. I don't know where. Do we remember what city his grandpa was in? Because I don't remember. Because I'm just trying to think, like, depending on what city that is, maybe if there's one of these shows takes place in that city or something like that. But I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't even know if they told us like where that is. It may not even have told us. It's just like somewhere back on Earth.
It's Missouri,
at
right?
home. Is it?
I think.
I don't know. It could be.
That actually sounds right to me.
Yeah, that could be right.
The Google is saying Missouri.
All right.
That's where he's from. I don't know if that's where he went at the end, but that's where he's from originally. And old people don't leave where they're from originally, usually. So. Yeah. I think that's a safe bet, but who knows?
Okay, well, like you said, that's probably a safe bet. So we'll go.
If you ever watching a movie and it pops up Missouri at the bottom as the location, keep an eye out for Star-Lord. He might show up.
Right. And you never know when we could randomly go there, if at any point. You never know with the MCU, man.
You really
Shit could just
don't.
happen. Shit, you could probably in the Loki show, we'd probably hop in the fucking TVA stuff and go to Missouri for some reason.
What if he is in Loki? What if he just randomly just in there?
Just randomly shows up like, it's me, Star-Lord.
I still think it's too soon.
Anyway,
but that would be funny.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't think it's. I think the actors want to break, and like this was kind of a goodbye for this team, and I think it makes sense to give them kind of a little bit of space, and then bring
everybody got closure, right? Like
and
that's the thing
here's
I haven't really
the thing
talked about a whole lot. Yeah, go ahead.
What another thing I wanted to mention? Nobody died, dude. I thought people were gonna die.
I thought people were gonna die too. Nobody dies in this movie. Spoilers.
Nobody died.
Know that if you're here. They really sold it as at least one person's gonna go.
I think they did a good job in the trailers and stuff, and like the marketing to be like, yo,
because
probably not everybody's gonna make it.
I went in just knowing somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna die, and then we get to the point where they, in the movie, save Rocket, and I was like, holy shit, nobody's gonna die in this movie. Because if they were gonna die, they would have killed Rocket right there. That's where he would have died at. So at that point, I just enjoyed the movie. Like the whole movie, I was dreading. Like there's gonna be this heartbroken moment where one of the team dies, and there's a lot of heartbreaking moments in this movie. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, Teef's floor Rocket go now isn't gonna make you fucking tear up a little bit. Like that shit was rough. Okay, but I really thought one of the team was gonna go, and it doesn't happen. Which I like that it didn't happen. To be honest with you, I like that everybody got a satisfying close to their story. Like
they all got good closure without like killing anybody off.
Yeah, Peter's able to kind of get over this Gamora is not his Gamora. She has different experiences.
Which, speaking of that shit hit me too, man. With the Peter and Gamora stuff, I was like, oh, I feel you, Pete. I feel you on that. Him being sad about not having his Gamora anymore. I was like, I feel you, man. I understand.
Anyone that's ever had like a relationship that's ended, good or bad, can relate to that character. Like,
yeah,
I've had to say goodbye to a relationship that meant a lot to me. With a lovely lady, and it was like, it wasn't even like you fall out of love with each other. It's just like time. It's just life, like they have to go live their life sometimes, and you have to go live your life, and there's a mutual parting of the ways. That definitely hits, especially if you're older, a little older too. So yeah, but everybody kind of got a satisfying conclusion. Like Drax gets to go be a dad. You were meant to be a dad.
Yeah.
Mantis is gonna go off and kind of do her wander the galaxy a little bit, and try to figure out herself a little bit.
Yeah.
And Nebula's going to be dealing with nowhere, I guess.
She's running things on nowhere now,
yep. I never noticed you had such beautiful black eyes before. That shit cracked me up.
Dude, yeah, that was... He's like, Thanos chose him. Well, he chose a really pretty set. That's so good, dude. That shit cracked me up.
And you know what's funny is I could totally see that happening too. It's like Peter and Nebula being a thing. It's a little weird because it's like, that's my sister, but at the same time, it's like, people be weird like that sometimes. But yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's I gonna bring up? I was gonna bring up somebody. Nathan Fillion's in this movie. I wasn't when he showed up, I was like, what the fuck?
There's a few cameos in this movie. Nathan Fillion. We got Daniela Melchior, who's Ratcatcher 2 and fucking Suicide Squad. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that were in this. because there was a few of them. There was a few little cameos. So yeah, it was cool seeing them in the movie for sure. Oh, Jennifer Holland, his wife, James Gunn's wife was in this. Um, as one of the administrative people as well. I also recognized um this other lady I know, Tiffany Smith. She was also in the whole in the place where everybody else was. All the cameos were like in that same area. Like they were all in that, fucking I forget what the
So
place is called, but
I won't lie, I had to get up and go pee in the middle of that area, but I was like, if I gotta go pee, now's the time to do it because they're just kind of screwing around in this area. So I
dude,
did have to go potty.
How ridiculous were those outfits though that they had?
Oh my goodness.
It was like meat suit kind of thing. What I don't know, they were weird, man.
That
They were
whole
really
area
weird.
made me like a little uncomfortable, to be honest. Like the whole organic, like
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call it. Like the whole thing is weird.
Yeah, that was it was something. It was interesting. I'll give them that.
They rocked the Among
Definitely
Us
not
suits
what I
for a
expected.
minute.
Yeah, yep. They had the Among Us suits, which James Gunn is like, that's not what it is. But I'm like, that's
totally what it is, dude.
That's what it is, dude. Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if we want to talk about this till we get to the end, but I'm just gonna fucking say it anyways. Like, I think this is one of the best recent Marvel movies, to be honest. Like, one of the more decent, like, actually good Marvel thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of things, and I can forgive a lot of things, but like, Multiverse of Madness, had some issues. Love and Thunder, I have a lot of issues. Even Wakanda Forever, I have some issues with.
I think Love and Thunder like is probably the biggest one that I'm like, man, that one is just and I think having seen Quantum Mania, I think that one also.
Yeah, same. I was gonna add that on there. The quantum medium thing is like meh. A little bit. So like for me personally, it's my opinion. Don't fucking rip my head off, internet. Like I definitely think Volume 3 is one of the better. Like I really don't have any gripes with it personally for the most part that I can think of. After I need to watch it again, I guess, really before I can say that. But on the first watching of it, I don't really have a whole. I don't think I have any negatives really at all, to be honest. How about you, DT? What did I'm sure you what do you got that you don't particularly like?
So one of my not favorite things, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but one of my not favorite things is like Gamora in this movie. Like she's in it, and like she's like not in the team anymore, but like kind of is a little bit. She's like borrowed from the Ravagers, kind of like it's like they base story wise in the MCU, they killed her off, and they wanted to bring. I feel like they just wanted to bring back Zoe and the character of Gamora, just to be like we're kind of closing out the Guardians, and it'd be weird if we didn't have her. So let's just have her in the movie, even though she kind of doesn't like the character just doesn't like to me it didn't work that well this time around with like the team and everything. It was kind of like she had her moments and stuff, but like I don't know. It was kind of weird having
I
her
feel like
around
Gamora's
at
not
some
there for
points.
Gamora. Gamora is there for Peter to work through his trauma that he has from the previous Gamora. So she doesn't feel like a member of the Guardians, and she's not. Like she's a member of the Ravagers, but it doesn't. I get what you're saying for sure. It doesn't feel like she feels like a hanger on just to complete Peter's story, and I think that's the deal. I think that's what it's meant to be too.
It just feels like they wanted to include her just because it's like, oh, we're closing out the trilogy and we want to have her in, and it's like, Peter has to, like you said, get over this and and all that stuff. So it's like, I don't know if I like that as much, but That's like the one of the bigger things for me that I'm kind of like, not a big fan of. But uh,
I do think it's interesting that like the Guardians are a family. The original Gamora chose to be a Guardian, and this Gamora chooses a different family, which is with the Ravagers instead. Like you see it when she goes back, and they're all hugging her and all and patting her on the back and all that stuff.
Which, by the way, Stallone is back for this one too, which is cool.
He is.
Also, really quickly, I want to bring up, since we're talking about the cameos, fucking Dutch, fucking Benjamin Byron Davis was Bleedle Snort or whatever the hell that guy's name was. The dude that was like that Mantis kind of made, like tricked him into loving Drax or whatever.
Yeah,
that was him, dude. That's Dutch, dude. I was like, that's fucking great.
One of my favorite is this Drax is like, oh, not again. Like, hasn't done it before.
The humor worked for me in this movie, dude. I thought it was good. Like the whole Drax and Mantis stuff has always worked for me.
Drax in that fucking couch is the funniest shit. Him trying to lay down on it on that fucking planet is hilarious. Oh, one of the things about the High Evolutionary, I was gonna bring this up, but I forgot. It's like I like how everybody turned on him at the end. Even his own crew turned on him. I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, yes, this makes sense for his own people to turn on him. It makes the absolute most sense out of anything, you know. And he destroys that fucking upper room. Also, when they take his fucking face off, like the whole face off joke, also was pretty funny.
That shit off.
But when they showed, like, I was like, that is horrifying. This is like when they show his actual face, where Rocket has disfigured him greatly. Like, woo. That's a lot. Also, the open the fucking door was pretty fucking funny. You gotta push the button. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Peter and Groot are up in the High Evolutionary's office tower when they're on the planet, and Peter just tells him, Groot, kill him all, and they just pull out guns and start fucking fighting. That shit was sick. Like, yeah, the near death experience that Rocket has, in the little, it's like, can I fly with you? And like, yeah, but not yet. Of course you can. And like that shit hit, man. That shit hit.
There's a lot of good emotional moments in this movie, dude. Like I said earlier, like it's just very there's a lot of that shit hits like really mad. I don't know who was cutting onions in my theater, man, but there was a couple moments I was like,
I got you.
Dude, stop it, man. What are we
Stop
doing?
it.
I'm here to watch some space shit, not fucking feels, brother.
I think that's a good thing that they do in this movie is they're able to, like, here's emotion, here's funny, here's action, and it all fits in sequence, and it doesn't ever feel weird that it's all together. You know, some things will do that, weird, and it feels like fucking it does weird.
They knew how to do it in this movie, and they didn't know how to do it in Love and Thunder again.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Like, it's just, I hate to keep bringing that movie up, but it's easy when it's in the same universe, and it's also a sequel to another movie that was similar and did well, you know. So it's like you have the two sides here. Like, here's one how not to do it, and here's one how to do it. Yeah. And I feel like in this movie they did it really well. They had the balance.
No screaming goats in this movie, thank Christ.
No. And
it's fine as a one-off.
The soundtrack was good and diverse, and it wasn't fucking Guns N' Roses every single song.
As a okay, this is gonna turn into hating on Love and Thunder for a minute. As a Guns N' Roses fan, they use that music way too much in that fucking movie. All right, and I say that as somebody that likes GNR. Okay.
So let's talk about something else now. We haven't really gotten into the Rocket backstory, but let's talk about that for a minute because that is a huge part of the movie, and we kind of get flashbacks throughout the movie. And we get one like early on, right? We see like Baby Rocket and, you know, the High Evolutionary and the other animals that get, you know, messed up. And, you know, kind of experimented on. Um, so let's talk about that for a minute because we haven't really gotten into that yet.
Let's talk about it.
So again, we kind of mentioned it a little bit before. Kind of, pretty dark, pretty dark for
Oh man,
for this kind of movie.
after
Not
he
just
has his
literally,
surgery, the hurt.
yeah, not just literally in terms of lighting, but like this is pretty dark, man, for like a PG-13 film.
Mm-hmm. It's body
They
horror stuff, but with animals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Like literally like they get like limbs and like, pieces and bits like attached and detached, and it's kind of,
horrifying as well. It's like
yeah, I mean, for real.
the characters themselves are sweet, right? Like they're not evil monsters or anything. Well, I don't know, that fucking pig. That's not in the flashback though. The fucking
Oh man, those like the ones, the like giant pig dude or pig lady.
That shit
those
was kind of
things.
scary. That was a little horrifying, but like the characters in the flashbacks aren't like that. Like they're body horror, like things have been done to them, but they're all like nice and sweet to each other, right? Just when poor Rocky gets put back in the cage after he's had his brain surgery and he can finally talk and all he can say is hurts, like that make me sad, man. Poor little raccoon.
Yeah, that all of that was nuts, dude. With Lila, Teefs, and Floor, right? Those are the names.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so that like just going back to it every once in a while, and then like I wasn't sure what they were gonna do with those characters in the flashbacks, but man, it is it was very emotional, and that should, yeah, it was hard, dude. It was kind of heartbreaking seeing that little rocket, the raccoon and all the animals, and like even like out of the flashbacks, like when the like ship is going down and they're like evacuating all the animals and the kids and stuff, and you just see like Rocket fucking like going back to find the
The
pens where
babies.
they had them on, and then
Yeah.
the baby raccoons and stuff, like
When he
even that
finally
stuff, you're like,
accepts,
damn.
I am Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah,
right?
like because throughout the whole movie, he's like, I'm not a fucking raccoon, and then finally he's like, I'm Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, that was yeah. So it's emotional stuff, man, and I think they did a fantastic job with those scenes, even though they were like fucked up, and like, yeah, when, like you said, when they're experimenting on young Rocket, and you see the kind of the sad raccoon eyes and shit, you're like, damn, they really
Mhm.
did this in a fucking Marvel movie.
And on top of that, like Rocket's smart. Like they're trying to figure out why he's so
Yeah.
fucking smart. Like he's able to solve problems that even the high evolutionary and his team of fucking super geniuses or whatever the fuck aren't able to like solve, right? Like he's like, when we make these people out of these creatures, they become crazy monsters, and Rocket immediately comes up with like a solution that works for them. So, like, because he's so smart. Katie's doing a raid. Hi, Katie. We're spoiling Guardians right now. Please, if you're joining us from the raid,
Katie.
if you haven't seen Guardians, appreciate you. But
Yeah,
we don't want to spoil it
we're-
for you.
Yeah, we're talking Guardians 3. So
Yeah.
if you've seen it, be stick around. If not, definitely be careful because we are talking spoilers.
Yeah. Guys,
But
if
welcome in,
you're
guys. Thank you. Appreciate
if you
it.
were in our channel, make sure to go follow Katie. Right here, I'll give her a shout out in the chat.
All good, Katie. How did the rest of the Survivor go?
No, you're fine, Katie. We'll give a minute break just in case anybody wants to leave, so we don't spoil them. That's all.
What part did you, Katie? You have to in your Discord. Tell me what happened. I'll look in there. Also, I left you a surprise in your Discord too. Check that out real quick. But yeah, we'll talk later. Yeah. So yeah, Guardians. Uh, yeah,
We liked it, by the
fucking
way. The movie, we like it.
isn't it crazy how they make you feel for these CG created fucking animals? Like damn, that's nuts, dude. Like a raccoon. Uh, what is it? I'm trying to remember what some of the other ones were. A rabbit, right? With teeth.
The rabbit.
Floor was
Floor's
the rabbit, right?
rabbit. Teefs was like a walrus, and Lila's an otter.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. I remember Lila, but I was trying to remember the other two. Okay, yeah. So that's crazy how they make you feel for a CG raccoon, otter, rabbit, and walrus, dude.
Right? Like when
Like they had plans to go do stuff and visit, see the real world, and they gave each other names and that. Yeah, it's sad, dude. It's sad. It's some sad
That's
shit.
another thing I wanted to bring up. I know we're in Rocket's flashbacks and stuff right now, but I think it's a good time to bring it up. Which is the CG in this movie is fantastic. Like like in some of the previous movies, even in Wakanda Forever, and definitely some of those other ones, it's like I could tell like this is just CG, right? Like I can very easily tell like this is not practical in any way. I could tell they were in front of a blue screen or a green screen for this thing that's going on. But funny enough, in Guardians, even though I know it's in space, even though I know I'm looking at a CG raccoon and CG, characters, like, it looks real though. Like they're actually able to, they do it really well in this one. Like, whereas in some of those others, looked pretty noticeable at times. So that's the thing I wanted to bring up was to praise them for getting the CG work time to cook and complete. Because I know in some of those other things they rush shit out, which is why it kind of like looks bad and are cheap and are notoriously horrible at times with the CG animators and stuff. So, but yeah, like you feel bad for these animals that like. I was trying to think of what it kind of makes me think of the Isle of Dr. Moreau almost, with animals and stuff like that. Mm.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that. I don't think there was ever a moment in this movie as again, I've only seen it one time and it was a couple of weeks ago already, but I don't think there was a moment in this movie where I was like, man, the CG looks bad. Like I never thought that at all throughout this movie. So
Whereas I thought that a lot with Quantum Mania at times. Quantum Mania at times.
what are some other things that kind of stand out or stick out to you in this movie?
I'm just trying to think. I'm looking through a synopsis of the movie just so I can remind myself of some of the things that happened.
I didn't really mention this, but I thought it was cool that we kind of got to see the progression of Nowhere, like
yeah,
over the course of the movies, and like now when we got to see it again in the holiday special, which if you guys
I'm
haven't
actually
seen
glad.
it, it's in that.
I feel like you should watch the holiday special before you watch this movie. Like,
yeah, I mean, they mention in this movie that Mantis and Peter are siblings, and if you didn't watch the holiday special, you wouldn't know that because that was a reveal in the holiday special.
Yeah, they kind of like you're my sister. Like it's like literally one line in there.
It's like
or something
it's like really quick. So if like you'll be like, what the hell? Wait, what?
Yeah. It'd be kind of like watching Mando season 3 without watching Book of Boba. You'd be kind of a little lost.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to do that. I feel like people are like smart enough now to like watch most things. If you're watching Star Wars or Marvel or stuff that's in a connected universe, like you're gonna watch most everything. I feel like, because if you don't, then you will be lost behind. Like that's just how it is,
Here's a question for you, DT. How do you feel about them not killing the evolutionary? Because they don't kill him. He could, in theory, still be alive.
That actually is a solid question, because usually in the MCU, that's kind of what they do, right? They kind of kill off most characters, or most villains, rather. I don't know. That's interesting. I feel like if they were like, I don't know where they would like what they would do with him after this. Like,
Right?
where would they? What would they? What would you like if you were to bring him back? What would you bring him back to do? Like, I feel like he kind of.
I don't know exactly.
I feel like he kind of served his purpose already. I don't think we need him back.
I don't think he needs to necessarily be a villain. What if they face turned him? What if they had him do a redemption story? Like, Rocket spares his life. Like, that's the big thing for Rocket. Like, Rocket's gonna kill him, and then he not. And Drax asks him why, and he's like, "Because I'm a freaking guardian of the galaxy." Like, and I'm not necessarily being like they could bring him back for the character. I think you bring him back because the actor's so good, more than anything.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If they wanted to go that route, I could totally see them doing like trying to do like maybe try to do a redemption story with that character if they wanted to. I'm glad they don't kill him, because we had this discussion in a Star Wars thing one time, and it's like, man, death is so final and death is so fucking boring. I hate it when they kill off characters sometimes. Like, life is so full of possibilities for storytellings and redemption, and expanding on that stuff, especially with darker characters. Like, if you ever play any of my D&D games, you kind of will understand this. That isn't to say like you should let every character live. No, I'm like, kill off some, like, obviously, but they let this one live, and I'm kind of glad they let him live, because I could totally see them doing like a redemption story with that character if they wanted to. It'd be hard, but they could bring him back. They might just bring him back to kill him in a sequel in the opening credits, in the opening sequence of a movie too.
Maybe I don't think we need him back, but I think it, like, for the character and like the journey that we were on with Rocket and everything, I think it makes sense. Like, he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So for
I
that
think Marvel
reason,
makes
I
a
like
mistake. I think they kill too many fucking villains. I think they've done it
they've done
much.
They've done that a lot. They do that a lot over their history. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've said this before, but Marvel is more about the heroes than the villains. But I feel like, and like, to be fair to the Marvel, they haven't done this every time, but they've done it more often than not, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that they didn't kill off Abomination, because then we got him in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So it works out in situations like that. And then, like, fucking Red Skull, and they brought him back in the event, Infinity War and Endgame and stuff too. So there's examples of when they do bring people back, but and then obviously, if you watch Quantumania, you know what they do with the character there. But then anyway, yeah, I agree with you. The actor is good. I just don't know what you would kind of bring him back for. I think what he did and what they had him for in this movie, he served his purpose. And I don't necessarily think we need to bring him back, but yeah, I do think it's good that they kept him alive, because for story reasons and for the character reasons, I think it was a good choice. Um, yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Did you have a favorite cameo? Was it the Nathan Fillion one, or was it another one?
I guess probably Nathan Fillion. I like Nathan Fillion a lot.
Yeah, I don't know which one mine is. There's a lot of good ones. Like, oh shit, you know who we haven't mentioned yet is fucking Howard. They brought back Howard the Duck, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
playing poker cards and cheating. I think, by the way, it looked like if you look at his hand, I think he's cheating at cards. I'd have to look at it again. It's been a while, but I think he was cheating. Um, yeah, to be honest with you, I wasn't really focused on cameos. I was so sucked in by just the main cast. You know,
I gotcha.
I was kind of
Yeah, I think maybe
part of
like
the movie. I was like,
on
who's gonna die? No, you know, like part of that.
on like a second watch through, you'll probably
I'd probably get more into it. Yeah, for that other parts.
Yeah.
Humans only live to 50. What's the point of even being born? I felt that. I felt that inside. Yeah, I don't know if I have much more to say, DT. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I can't really think of. I mean, we kind of pretty much said already what we have to say. I mean, we like the movie. I like the soundtrack. I like the emotional, more personal story this time around compared to some of like maybe the more bigger bombastic stories they've gotten. I like the Rocket backstory with the like I said with the um with his friends and um yeah, I'm really curious where they take the Guardians from here. Obviously with
oh
uh what should call it with the future of the Guardians and Star Lord and all that. But what are you gonna say?
How'd you feel about Groot? Us actually being able to understand Groot at the end with the "I love
Okay,
you
so
guys."
so I feel like that wasn't actually him saying that. I feel like that was more of like this is the last movie we're getting with these guys. So like this is what he's saying. Obviously, like what I'm trying to say is if we were able to understand Groot's language, that's what it would be. But I feel
Yeah.
like what he actually said was "I am Groot," like he always says.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
same,
kind of how
same
I
thought.
that's kind of how I interpreted it. But I thought it was cool.
Yeah, he's not
like
actually talking. He's saying
Yeah.
"I am Groot," and we just
That's like-
understand it because we're
we
part of the
hear it.
Guardians now at that point,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
That's kind of how I
exact
got
same
and
thought
interpreted
process
that.
I have too as well. I thought that's so cool
Because I know there was people that was confused about that, but I'm like, I mean, come on, guys. If you've seen the other movies, like,
Yeah, you know everything
Don't
about this
even-
character. He doesn't suddenly speak English at any point.
yeah, yeah, like, come on, guys.
He's speaking Groot.
He's speaking
Eh.
Groot, but we actually, for a
feel like-
moment, because we're all part of the team, we kind of get
I
to.
feel like they even explain it
says.
during the course of the movie with the other Gamora not being able to understand him until she's around him a bit, and then she can understand.
Kind of,
him.
yeah. That I recall that, yeah.
Like at the end. Thanks for the biddies. Yeah, I think that's all I have, DT. I just remembered that and I wanted to be like, we should mention this at the end of this movie, so.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I think for the most part we're pretty positive on it. I don't think there's a whole lot of negatives. Yeah, I don't I think this is one of the better, more recent movies as well. I liked it more than Quantum Mania. I liked it more than Love and Thunder. I don't know if I like it more than Wakanda Forever because I really like that one, but this one was still pretty good too.
I have to watch this one again before I can make that call on Wakanda
I
Forever or
do,
not.
I do need to watch. I do want to watch it again though because, like I said earlier, we've both watched it when it came out opening weekend, and that was a couple weeks ago now. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to on a rewatch, see how we feel about it. But overall, I think we're pretty positive on it for the most part. Where would you rank it in terms of like the movies?
Damn it!
For
I was
me,
gonna ask you that.
well, because for me, I gotta rewatch it again, but I think I still have number one at first place because I really like that first one, man. I thought it was fantastic way to set everything up and introduce everything, and I like that one a lot. So I think one is still one for me. Then I would probably put three, and then I have two at the end. And that's just me now, like right now. Like I feel like someday I want to rewatch all three of them and see
Yeah.
how I feel about them afterwards. But as of right now, if you ask me today, right now, at this very moment, how do I feel about them? I would say 1-1 or 1 is 1, 3 is 2, and then 2 is third last. So that's kind of how I would rank.
I think I have the same ranking as you. I have to watch it again. What? I'm not gonna say put a number on it, but in Marvel as a whole, top, lower, like top 15, lower 15.
I would say
I
would say this is like in the upper half. I would say like I don't want to say oh man. It's tough because there's a lot of good Marvel
I know
movies and
it's hard.
and I would say it's in the upper half though. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too much more into detail,
I
but
put it in
I'll
the
put
upper
it in
half
upper
too.
half.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, DT. I think that's gonna do it for a show. Unless you have anything else, brother. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, it's our 4-year anniversary, so that's cool. I guess we're not really gonna get into that because this is more of a Guardians one, but I guess we just mention it. It's our
podcast
year.
anniversary.
It was our 4-year anniversary this past the 19th, which is a few days ago on Friday. So that's cool. We're gonna be back next week. I think we have another retro rewind, and I believe it's Josh's choice. So we'll see what that's gonna be. We'll see what that is, and then we'll check that out and talk about it. And yeah, because
Oh, it sure is, isn't it?
yeah, we do the retro rewinds at the end of every month now. So that is what we're doing. So
I guess
we're doing
it is
that.
time again, huh?
And then yep, because we're at the end of the month because we're heading into June. And then after that, I think we'll be doing an episode on Ted Lasso, so that'll be fun. And then once we get into June, we'll have all this Summer Game Fest and PC Gaming Show and all that good stuff. So yeah, that'll be that. So yeah, I guess if we're ready to be like the Autobots and transform and roll out, Josh, then let's go ahead and do it. I guess.
I'm gonna throw you on the main screen, brother. You're up.
Thank you guys for watching and hanging out and all that good stuff. Thank you. It was another good episode of the podcast. I enjoyed talking Guardians. It was a good movie, and shout out to all the actors and actresses and people involved. It was a good one. And James Gunn as well for all because they all worked on his movie for 10 years, right? So 10 years of like 3 movies and actually more movies than that with the Avengers ones. But anyway, they were on. The point is, they were on these movies and these characters for a long time, so it's good to give them a break and all that good stuff. Coming up for me, my schedule's kind of weird this week because I'm gonna be playing some Final Fantasy tomorrow. Wednesday's kind of gonna be a weird one where like I'm gonna start off playing something and then for like maybe I don't know how long, probably not very long. We'll probably play some for a little bit. Then we have the PlayStation Showcase, and then Thursday I'll probably do more Final Fantasy. Friday we're gonna do Starship Troopers, so it's kind of gonna be like Final Fantasy 7 with a mix of other things here and there. PlayStation Showcase, Starship Troopers, and then yeah. Uh, I don't know. Follow me on all the things. We'll let me know what you guys thought of Guardians. Let me know what you guys would want to see on on the podcast. Like I said, it's our 4-year anniversary. So let me know if there's people you want to see on, or things maybe you want us to do episodes on, or anything like that. Let us know. Because we didn't really get to talk about that like we did in other anniversary episodes, but kind of had the bunch, 2 of them today together. But it is what it is. So yeah, just let me know. How do you guys feel about what we should talk about eventually, or what we should bring on as a guest, or anything show the podcast kind of you know, that has to do with it, let us know on all the social stuffs. And then yeah, we'll see you guys next week for the next one or next time. And have a good one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye. Peace out.
All right, guys. Thank you for checking out the show. Sorry it was a little bit late getting started, but we've made it through 160 episodes over 4 years. So I'm sorry we didn't really get to talk about the anniversary too much, like we have previously as well. But I do have some stuff I got to do, unfortunately. Thank you everybody for stopping by and watching. Coming up for me, I want to stream this week. I want to stream Horizon. We haven't started to stream yet. Hopefully I can start that up maybe tomorrow. So come by tomorrow and see. Probably, I don't know, 3, 4 p.m. maybe earlier. We'll see if I get up early enough. Because I need to knock that out because I have a whole list of games I have to play and there's games coming out and things are a mess. So that's terms of streaming. Friday, Starship Troopers with DT. I'm a dice maker. Make sure to check me out. Etsy.com, 902 Dice Creations. Instagram, Etsy. Check out the YouTube. All the info is on the side over there. Down there. Over there. Follow all that stuff if you want to keep up with what we're up to. Blasters and Bandits is usually on Saturdays at 5 p.m. on the Heroes and Fables Twitch channel, the other Twitch channel I run. Make sure to go follow that. Yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching out. Thanks for everybody that's been stopping by the past 4 years, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Take it easy. Stick around. We'll find somebody to pass a raid on to, but the recording will end right now.